Jim won't be here, but we'll let him.
Did he say how long? Do you want to wait for him, or?
No, we have quorum, so we're waiting for you. So we're good. You can begin, and then
Okay.
when he arrives, he arrives.
Welcome, everybody, to the August 19th, 18th, 19th? 18th meeting of the Downtown Development Authority.
There he is. Perfect timing.
Oh, he's moving quick. Look, are you running? You
Yeah,
gonna jump
I
on
wish.
stage?
I wish.
It's good to see you. Look, no walk or anything. You're doing good. No cane?
I got the cane.
Oh, you're just waving it around in the air. I
In
got
case he
it.
needs to hit somebody.
Good to see you, sir.
Sorry we put you in the farthest away spot.
Move this along.
Thanks for making a commitment to show up.
I want to move down one. Okay. Give you
Okay.
I have no one to ask to call roll,
I'll
Well,
call
no,
roll.
Suzanne's.
but you're not Liliana.
So
I
Liliana is
know.
on vacation.
I'll have to make do.
Do the best you can.
I will.
Okay. Would you please?
Yes, Aaron Halliburton, Cole Devitt,
Here.
Al Costello,
Here.
Brian Rosen,
Here.
Anthony Barber, Jules Zellman. Sorry, Guagliardi is harder to pronounce. Guagliardi. Jim Knight
here.
and Tom Carney.
Here.
Excellent.
Okay. First, we have agenda, approval of the agenda. Is there any
Yes.
change?
First,
Yeah, I was. Oh, do you
wait.
want?
First of all, just make sure your microphones, everyone, your microphones are hot. If you need to mute yourself, just push the button. But
Okay.
make sure that we can hear you.
All right.
I think you're on all the time, Joel. You have a special microphone just for you.
Yeah, you just need to get it right in front of your mouth, Jules.
Okay. Do we have any
Yeah,
changes?
my only thought was maybe move 4F down to 5D, push the officer appointments down,
To the end.
deal
Okay.
with that at the end.
That's
So
fine.
it'll be more discussion. You okay with it?
No, I am. I was going to say something after you.
I would approve that, second that
Okay,
motion.
that's fine. Okay, we'll move it to 5E.
Jules?
So 4F will become 5E, and then I know Jules had a recommendation of
Yes.
something to the agenda
Jules?
as well.
So, Chairman, I'd like to add an item for the agenda, which would be to request a workshop concerning the sort of the visionary committee and the DDA's involvement in that.
So we want to make
Visionary?
that 4F?
The new visionary, sort of the beautification
The
of
2035.
Yeah,
That
so
would
we
be-
can make that we can now make that 4F,
Okay.
and that just we can have more discussion at that time regarding that. Okay, so that would be 4F
Workshop.
workshop discussion. Okay.
And 5E?
5E is moved 4F to 5E, so the
Okay.
DDA officer selection
Okay.
or approval or appointment, nominations.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Do we need a
We need a motion and a second, please.
Someone make a motion, please. I can't do it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? All right. We're going to public comments? All right.
Yes, please.
Public, any public comments? You have 2 minutes. Please identify yourself.
We've actually 3. We've changed our minutes for the public comments to 3 to match the
Have
city.
we?
Yes.
Good.
So we're at 3 minutes. So
Okay. I don't think I'll need all of it. I'm Stephanie Immelman. I'm CEO of the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce. I just want to let you guys know that we sent a letter to the City Commission last week advocating to keep the garages free during the day as they are now, because we're worried about the effect it will have for the businesses in terms of their employees, but also in terms of their customers. We're afraid that charging in the garages during the day will depress demand when we really need it. I think the city's already getting revenue for the evening when the demand is high, but we're hoping to keep the businesses solvent during the day. So that's the letter we sent to Commission, so I just wanted to let you know. Also, we've got Do Good Delray coming up in October. So when I come next month, I'll give you a handout, but that's where we pair 25 for-profits with 25 nonprofit businesses that have events during the month of October in another 25 chamber locations. So we get about 75 of our members together to raise money for nonprofits. So in the past 5 years, we've raised over $250,000 for our local nonprofits. So I'll bring the event list to you next time, and hopefully you'll pick 1 or 2 events, and we'd love to see you at some of them. And also, we've got a CTAC meeting for the Delray Affair on Thursday. So after that meeting's over, we want to meet with the DDA staff to see how we can work more closely together for executing and promoting Delray Affair in the future.
Fantastic.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Stephanie?
comments.
Stephanie,
Yes.
is there anybody that's taken over the lead of
Yes. For the Delray
Nancy-
Affair? Yes.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
Nancy's company?
Her staff, so Byrne was always a 50% partner, so Byrne is still obviously the main partner there. But the complete staff is there, and Jen Costello is the executive director now, and I have complete and full confidence on her abilities to execute it. So
Cool.
we're happy to work with them.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Great.
Any other public comments?
Oh, go ahead. Hi, Jeff.
Good afternoon, Jeff Orris, Assistant City Manager for the City of Delray Beach. I just really have one item I wanted to touch, and I know your staff had sent me a note asking me to be here, as well as our staff asking me, was related to some of the timeline comments made about the link at your last meeting. I have a memo we've prepared that kind of gives you a little bit of an update, and what we're asking the board to do is actually add this as an attachment onto your official minutes. It just lays out some of the times on it. Suzanne, if you wouldn't mind, thank you very much. It just basically says their time actually started later than they came forward and presented to you, as well as they requested and we granted 2 extensions to the timeline through the process. In the future, if there are some of these sort of things that come up and there's nobody here who can refute them, we're going to go through the same process and just provide you a message, a memo just kind of updating what we have and asking you to append your minutes to include that. I apologize. My phone should not be ringing.
So just,
Other phone.
You're buying around.
Staff members should know I'm here.
Is there anything special we have to do to enter this into the
so
minutes?
this is regarding the
link?
the
The
link
link,
project that was reviewed at the last board meeting. So
But is there anything special we have to do to attach something to the minutes?
Nope, he's submitted it into the record, so it'll
Okay.
be a part of it.
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are you coming up to the podium?
Any other public comments?
Any other public comments? Okay, then, noting no other public comments is closed.
Great.
We have no development projects, so we go to 4A.
Right, so 4A. All right, so 4A, we wanted to provide you all just, we wanted to take time today to just give a little overview on some of the comments that we've been hearing, and just to clarify a few things that, for the public that we've been hearing out there and seeing on social media and different places. So we thought we'd take this time just to share that with you all as board members. So we just put it up in a slide format, which we also provided as backup in the board packet as well. One, it's really around as the millage piece. So just as we talked about at our town hall and in other meetings, the DDA, and last July meeting, we did set our maximum millage, which is the 1 mil based on our state statute. And we'll be holding our public hearings on September 8th for our budget and millage, as well as our final hearing on September 12th. And all that will stay the same for this year. Next was the Savor the Avenue discussion, and Savor the Avenue is a 17-year-old program with our city. We started this back in 2009, prior to me coming on board in 2010. It was a way to highlight our culinary scene. So this is an economic development event, which all of our events are meant to highlight our programs, or to highlight our downtown commerce. And Savor the Avenue is one of those that involves only downtown restaurants, as Aaron can attest to as being one of the original. Cafe La Rosa was one of the original and continues to be probably our longest standing restaurant involved. I think Lemongrass is right there with you, but it is it is a event that it was meant to extend the weekend. We started it on Thursday, and then turned it into, when we had to cancel it for weather, we moved it till Monday. And due to that time and that change, it became a better opportunity for us to again engage and have an event that brings close to 5,000 people downtown. Only 1,000 dining at the event, and the rest are patronizing the businesses and the restaurants and retailers that are open in downtown. So that event also has a charity component. We started early in the 2009 for the first, I think it was 5 years, with the Office Depot Foundation, providing backpacks for kids, as well as a small donation per table, per chair, back to the foundation itself. So we continue that tradition. However, we move forward with only using Delray Beach Charities as a way for us to raise some funds and raise awareness for these charities. So this past year we had Cross Ministries, and we have charities reaching out to us in the community that want to participate and Savor the Avenue. So just wanted to, and this has become actually an event that many downtowns across the country have called our organization to see how we do it, how it works, so they can do it in their downtowns too. Hyannis is one that does a long table. Portagana, it's on
Punta Gorda?
Punta Gorda, yes. I was going to say Punta Cana, but that's in Cancun. They're in Naples, and they all are actually going to start their event as well. So, and the other is really around communication to our downtown residents and some things there. So we just highlighted in this where we want to make sure that we're continuing to share with you all as board members because it's been an initiative that we've been striving to enhance for the past several years of how do we continue to reach out and engage with our residential community that's growing in our downtown, and engaging them as part of our organization, whether it's through their quality of life issues that we see, and how do we enhance that, as well as the events that we create to bring that commerce and the community together. So we also have done recently, again, the town hall that we just recently had. We had a majority of them were residents that attended that meeting, and all really want to have more of them as we move forward. So that is part of our plan this coming year. So just wanted to give you those updates. Nothing really for discussion for this unless you have questions, but just wanted to start there and clarify a few things. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to, or Suzanne, if you had anything you wanted to say that I forgot. No, good?
No, just to clarify that,
That was incredibly concise for an organization that's been running for 50-some years.
Well,
To
it's
put
just
that
a
into
few
2
highlights.
slides. I'm pretty impressed with what you do, and I know most people in this city are. The team here that you've built is incredible. What we deliver on the money, I think, is just remarkable.
Thank you.
And I wish you could have done it in 2 slides, but you can't. But so we know that you gave the highlights. Thank you. Anyone have any comments before we go to the request for a fee waiver?
Are you going to say something about it?
no, just clarifying on each of these. There were some comments made that we were raising taxes, that Savor the Avenue was a charity event. So we just wanted to clarify that those comments are not accurate.
Okay.
All right, so let's go into our next item because we have applicants here that want to present.
Okay, so 4B is the waiver for Muscle Beach.
Muscle on the beach.
On the beach.
Sorry.
George Walden, I'm the co-producer of Muscle on the Beach. This will be our 4th year, March 7th. We have been successful in the first year, second year, and in our 3rd year, we've raised in excess of $125,000 for Sandaway. We're hoping that this year we're going to raise in excess of what we did last year, which was $68,000. Thanks to the city's support, and hopefully we get a fee waiver here. Every dollar goes to Sandaway. Everybody that works on the event is a volunteer. No one is paid. We've attracted over 6,000 unique visitors to the event, and in excess of 10 million impressions on our website. So we've actually gotten worldwide attention given our host, Mike Brewer, and that's all good for Delray Beach as well. So, thank you.
Great.
That was easy. Okay, on the last page, where it says fee waiver request, we have the facility fee, personnel, cleanup, and it's all blank. The numbers aren't included on that page, and I was a little confused.
Just Alex.
So the blue is not the check mark, it's the gray that's the check mark. So it says here, are you requesting 100% waiver on the application? So that's a yes.
What's
Oh.
the total amount?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the total amount would be 6,000 for both the main amphitheater lawn and the east lawn.
Okay, do we need a new printer, or are we out of gray ink? Or that explains a lot of my next questions.
Where the blue is the yes and the gray is the no.
It's our new form,
Yeah.
based on your,
So we're asking for a
Full waiver.
$6,000 full waiver. Okay. Does anyone on the board have a comment?
I was just curious. You said you raised 125,000, I think, 2 years ago, and then last year 68.
First year we raised 17,000. Second year we raised in excess of 48,000. Last year, I think it was about 68,000.
Just curious if you knew, maybe you don't, but how much of that is Sandaway's? Do they raise annually? It seems like a pretty significant
I don't
number.
think, I don't know. I know this is a big event for Sandaway. I don't think that the city supports Sandaway in the same way that they support other not-for-profits. So I can't answer that question. I do know that this is a huge event for Sandaway.
Yeah, it just seems like a significant number, which is great. It's a great cause and everything else. So,
And it drags a
Really
lot of people
supporting it.
into the town. So getting 6,000 unique visitors to the event in one day, I think that's a big deal for the city. It's a big deal for us. And we run alongside the Green Market as well, so we feed off of each other.
Does anyone else have a comment?
just some clarification too, just from our feedback from our organization that works very closely with George and the team. It's very non-impact. It's a very low impact event for our organization. They're very well organized. They're buttoned up from just 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's really the only time that they're on the site versus a lot of bringing in a lot of product and everything in prior to. We're there really just to, if they need assistance, to oversee and just be another part of their team. But it's very, very low impact.
You'd never know we were there.
I think it's an excellent use of the facility. I think it's an excellent use of the DDA based on our mission, building the business of the avenue and the town. So I'm 100% for it. And if someone
I got a couple
a motion.
questions if
Sure.
I can.
Okay.
One is you are also coming back after the event, correct, to show us how you did and show your numbers and.
Oh, yeah,
what
we
you did?
also ask you for the numbers as well. So the
Yeah.
6,000 unique visitors we get from the DDA.
So just want to make sure that's part of the application process, not only the front end budget, but then also you just sharing with it how it happened. I didn't see it on the
We have to do
application
that with
form,
the
but I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Love that it's the Sandway and the local non-for-profit that these dollars go to, and that at the end of the day we're kind of supporting through any waiver. So that's important to me. Just talking out loud to my board that the dollars when we waive these things stay local, and in general I'm for it. So everything looks good. I'd say I don't know where Mike Brewer's flying from, but 5 G's for the airline. I think you use ChatGPT and maybe get your budget down and get Sandway a couple more dollars. But
I figured
that's
it
my
was
only thing.
He flies Virgin Airlines and he gets a deal.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my only.
He lives in London.
Go London. There you go. Yeah, it's like 10% of the budget, so it popped out. But I'm good on everything else.
Any other comments from the board? Does someone have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? There you go.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having the information together. Appreciate it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now, the request for
The Achievement Centers for Children and Families,
beg
which
your
is
pardon?
the Witch's Ride for
yeah,
the
for the
yes.
Witch's Ride.
Yep, and we also have the applicants here to share more about the program.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandy Miller. I am the Chief Development Officer at Achievement Centers, and I am excited to be here today with you all to talk about the Achievement Centers and share with you more. We did prepare a presentation. It was thorough. I wanted to ask to see if it's something that we should present, or should we go over highlights and talk about the reason for wanting the waiver?
I think highlights for me makes sense. They're only on the campus for 6 hours and using the. Is that fine with you guys?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to do a brief overview of Achievement Centers. We are a nonprofit deeply rooted here in Delray Beach for over 55 years. I am here today with Sarah Martin, our co-founder and CEO of Epic Events, and we're excited to share with you a little bit more. So our mission is to build a collaborative community where children reach their full potential and families are the foundation of that growth. We serve over 750 children annually, with 63% living right here in Delray Beach, many hardworking families, some working multiple jobs. We proudly offer scholarships and affordable programs that remove barriers, ensuring every child has access to quality early learning education and out-of-school time care. We also employ about 85 staff members, including 38 Delray Beach residents, $1.5 million in payroll invested right back into our local community. We are nationally accredited and hold multiple certifications. Our programs span from early learning, starting at age 1, to teen leadership and weekend programming. We provide children with a safe, supportive environment to grow academically, socially, and emotionally through enriching activities like tutoring, recreation, arts, and our Step Up and Drumline, and of course, supporting working families with care for their children. So today we're here for one of our iconic fundraising events. We are hosting the 14th annual Witches of Delray Beach bike ride on October 25th, Saturday, October 25th. This is a signature community event that brings over 300 costume riders, along with hundreds of spectators from all over, into downtown Delray Beach each year. The ride has sold out year after year, and this fall we're bringing it back to Atlantic Avenue and Pineapple Grove, reconnecting it directly with the downtown corridor and our businesses, supporting traffic right through to Green Market. For over 11 years, we've proudly ended the event at Old School Square, where we hold our post-ride celebration, including music, local engagement, and our signature awards ceremony on the stage, from best costume to best decorated broom or bike. Old School Square is more than a backdrop. It's an iconic space that ties the event to the heart of Delray Beach and offers a safe, central, and celebratory location for our riders and our community. As a nonprofit, every dollar matters. We are respectfully requesting a waiver of the $1,500 rental fee for the use of Old School Square and the stage on October 25th. Waiving this fee allows us to channel more resources directly into the programs for local children and families, including early learning, after-school programs, and critical family support services. Witches of Delray Beach is more than a fundraiser. It's a tradition that brings people downtown, creates buzz and visibility for local businesses, and creates that creative, inclusive, and fun spirit that defines Delray Beach. We believe this event strongly aligns with the DDA's mission to support vibrancy and community engagement downtown. And we thank you for considering this request.
Okay. Laura, do you have any comment?
No. Did you have any comment, Sarah?
No,
before I
I'm
cut
just
you
here
off?
for logistics questions. I
Okay.
know many of you, having run a lot of the Delray Beach events over the years.
No, again, this is another event that has been traditionally at Old School Square on the campus. It is low impact. The use is really just primarily the stage, and the participants roll up and have some fun, and then they roll out. Or ride out, I guess you will.
Fly out.
So it's then also that day the city does host later in the day they host the Kids Fest for the Halloween parade. So it is a big Halloween day in Delray, and it is great that it does take place on the Old School Square campus in the center of downtown. So, and the ride is last year, I think, was it last year the ride was on A1A?
No, that was 2 years
Years
ago.
ago, okay.
Yeah, the last year was down Atlantic Avenue all the way to 7th and back.
Okay, yeah.
This year we've incorporated Pineapple Grove
Right, I know.
with help of the city, which we're very grateful for because the ride, they spend a lot of time decorating their bikes and they want to ride as long as they can. So that was super helpful. And then after the event, we actually encouraged further economic development by hosting brunches. The 2 restaurants that participated last year were Deck 84 and Tin Roof. And so we see a lot of our riders go there as well. And it is the kickoff day of Green Market. And
Right.
so that also allows us to sort of dump a whole bunch of really excited, happy people right in the middle of Green Market on their kickoff day.
Yep.
I'd love to chime in for a second. I love this event. I just think it's adorable. I get a huge kick out of it. I think it so flows with the personality of Delray. It's completely unique. It's creative. It's engaging. People get excited. And I was with well, not all of them, but I went to see it.
Yeah.
And I was at Lulu's. And I was surrounded by adorable witches. The kids were completely entertained. It's just a lot of fun, and I don't think you're asking for a lot in exchange for something that really puts a lot of dollars right back into all the businesses, so I'm all for it.
Awesome, thank you.
It's such an iconic event. Anthony?
Can you tell me again? I heard you mention, but what's the exact route for the bikes?
Okay, so we actually start right here in Old School Square in City of Delray City Hall parking lot, just to the north. We ride up to 3rd.
Street,
Up
3rd Street.
to 3rd. We go over to Swenton, and we ride down Swenton to Atlantic. We go all the way down Atlantic this year to the Colony Hotel. We have to have a really wide place for them to turn. These aren't professional bikers, so they got to have enough space. And then we come back down Atlantic Avenue to 2nd. We go up 2nd, which is Pineapple Grove, all the way to 3rd, and we have them turn it around one of the roundabouts, so that gives them a natural turn there. And then we come back down to the Green Market and up into Old School Square. Yeah, no
I didn't realize you put so much into the logistics. I'm
Yes.
impressed.
Oh, it's a lot of safety. The event has been incident-free over the history of its event. Yes, knock, do a pagan dance, whatever it takes. But yeah, safety is a huge piece of it. The police department works with us very closely. They're very supportive of it. We could grow it, but we know, like, based on safety, 300 is really probably where we need to stay, and it does sell out each and every year. So I think where we could use more support is seeing more people out there cheering them on along the route. It is early, but it's so great to see them. They're so joyous.
I'm proud to support it.
I'm usually on the sidelines cheering as they
Yeah.
roll by getting coffee. So it's a great event. Love to see it. Again, the Achievement Center's great not-for-profit here locally that really helps serve the underserved kids in our community and families and support the families. And I've been there, great facility. And again, it's $1,500 to use our lawn. This is an asset that belongs to the city, and this is the type of event that I believe we should obviously support. So, and thanks for providing the budget as well. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
One more follow-up,
Yeah.
or maybe like 2 or 3. For the blocking with the roads and you have to block the street and all that, you naturally pay the police department for that. I assume.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So then my follow-up is, just as just a comment, I guess, as you continue to do the event in years moving forward, it would be really good to see, in line with what you stated about having a longer trail, that we bring it further west towards to try to incorporate more of downtown, because downtown doesn't necessarily stop at Swinton.
Okay.
That's all.
We'll bring that up with the city so that we can see about longer routes. We're always searching for as much distance
that
as
would
possible.
even possibly, because you get more people riding or a longer route, you may be able to get more riders in your route, perhaps, because you got more space for them to ride.
Okay, we will
Maybe,
definitely bring that up.
maybe you could start at the achievement centers.
Yeah,
And
and their
ride
front
from there.
parking lot. That's a good idea too. Absolutely. We can bring that up for our next year's process. We do start it pretty early, just to make sure we're dotting our T's and dotting our I's and crossing our T's. I always mess that up. But yeah, we'll bring that up in our feedback. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick comment. The next generation's critical, right? So if we don't support the kids and help them out and get them educated and so forth, it's a big problem. I've supported, the night group has supported this event and will continue to support it again this year. But I think it's a great event. I think the letterhead that you did is kind of interesting and nice, but the bikes blow away the logo letterhead that's on there. It's amazing the time and effort that these witches put into decorating their bikes, and it's a great event, and I'm happy to see it and certainly happy to support it.
Great, thank you.
Can someone make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request to waive the site fees for
Second.
Witches Ride.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Is that second, Anthony, did you second that, or I know I heard Aaron?
Anthony
Five
beat
guys.
us to it.
Five,
Yeah,
everybody.
five
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Seconded that.
I heard just a few people. Multiple.
All right. Thank you, board. We're up on item 4D, which is a discussion I'd like to have with you all concerning the minutes, not the minutes, the bylaws. And consistent with how we did this last year, I presented this to you all for any additional changes and discussion with me. And then the following meeting, based on the consensus at this meeting, will have the approval of the minutes. So the changes are to section 4.3 and some additional changes in section 7, which relate to the budget, which complies that with how the actual process is running in addition to the way we're doing the budget this year and going forward. So any questions on the changes, any additional items you'd like to see, I'd make note of that, and then we'll bring that back.
Okay. I have this letter from the mayor that I unfortunately didn't get a chance to read yet.
I'm happy
Did
to read,
anybody-
I'm
I
happy
know,
to read
that-
it into the record.
Yeah, well,
But
I was gonna-
I would like to read it into the record if I could, Mr. Chairman.
If you would like to go first, then that was my thought, so you could do that.
Okay, I appreciate that, sir. Dear DDA board members, the law establishing the Delray Beach Downtown Development Agency was HR 299. I noticed my notes said 229. It should be 299 in case any of you really want to look it up. I'm happy to send it to you, but it is public record. Contemplates that the mayor or his representative may sit as an ex officio member on the DDA in the state of Florida. The fact that no previous Delray Beach mayor before me has elected to do so is unfortunate, but I think everyone would agree that these are very different times. The intent of this provision is to have someone that is elected and accountable to the voters be involved in this agency's use of taxpayer funds. Since no one sitting on this board or the staff is elected or has ever been elected, I believe, it is a wise and inclusion in the statute. As a new member of the board, I felt it was my fiduciary obligation to get a handle on how the agency operates and spends its money. Hence my initial request for the records request to the executive director. The copy of that email, both email correspondence and my FOIA, ultimate FOIA request is included in what I put in front of you. My request was responded to by the executive director by, instead of offering me a private meeting to discuss the financials, and I was a little confused by this because I don't see how there can be a productive meeting without my having the opportunity to read the documents ahead of the meeting. My public records request seemed to send everything into a flurry of sunshine law violation accusations and bylaw changes to remove the mayor. 3 hours after submitting the public records request, a sunshine law violation came from the chair. Shortly after that, the bylaw change was introduced. I have heard grumblings over the years of the DDA board members frustrated at the lack of transparency with spending of the organization's taxpayer funds, and now I see that indeed that have been the case. Since this is a public organization funded by taxpayers, I find this situation very concerning. As a result of my years on public boards, such as Housing Authority, where I was the chairman, CRA, when it was an independent board and I was the vice chairman, and the City Commission, I know how taxpayer funds are supposed to be spent and accounted for. I also know what true transparency looks like, and the reaction I got to my request certainly begs that question. As a taxing authority, the DDA actually has two duties. The first is to operate within the mandate of the state. which is downtown development. But not spoken about is, and equally important, is the fiduciary obligation to protect taxpayer dollars. In this period of time where the state is now looking at local governments and agencies to make sure taxpayer dollars are being spent prudently, I would hope it would be a priority of everyone on this board and staff to ensure that this is the case with our current budget. If not, we could see DOGE interfering with our affairs, which is what I am really trying to avoid. As a result of my initial review of the documents, while this agency does obviously some very good work over the years, and we have much to be proud of, I do have many questions and concerns with how this organization spends some of its money. I look forward to sharing that information with the board. As board members, we all have a fiduciary responsibility to know what is happening and to approve those actions. To look the other way or intentionally not be informed makes every board member liable for any unfortunate findings that may arise. I hope this board elects to keep the bylaws and statute as it intended and look forward to a productive relationship going forward. We all talk about a partnership, and this board is a sub-part of the City of Delray board where I sit as its chair, and I'm hoping that we can continue the relationship, and just because it wasn't done in the past doesn't mean it's not going to be extremely productive to going forward by having the mayor sit on this board and help to the extent they can with the deliberations of this board. Thank you. I added that last part. It's not in the case you're looking for.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. That'll be added to the record, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the executive chairman should have got one. You should have got a copy. Except for my last part of the remarks. Which
no, I got you. It's in the record. Anybody else have any comments for me on that?
I want a minute, if we could, so that I could finish the balance of the stuff in the packet.
Sure.
Okay.
If I may comment on the second document which you're looking at, it was my initial email to the executive director requesting information. There was a follow-up email saying that this would be discussed at the August meeting, but if I wanted to, and welcome me to come in to a meeting in her office to discuss the financials, my response was, according to the statute, I followed exactly what the statute said as the information that could be obtained pursuant to the statute in terms of the full transparency of the statute, and asked for this information, which is all public record. And it wasn't intended to create any flurries of anything. It was really just created for me to get all the financial statements of any board that I sit on.
Okay. Well, also attached in this document is a letter I wrote, inter DDA communication from me to Laura, when I received notice that there was concern about a board member being contacted by another board member, and that I was concerned, if you remember, just prior to that meeting, or just at our last 2 meetings ago, the woman from the ethics committee came and visited us once again and reminded us about sunshine law violations. And I think we're all aware of that Pam Bondi video that we were all required to watch, where she scared us to death about sunshine law violation. And I was concerned that it was my responsibility, knowing that there had been contact, if after she had been here and gave us the little book, if we had to indeed be responsible to report the ethics. But it's not our responsibility to do that, and question of whether there actually was or wasn't violation is not the issue. It's not me to judge. It was just a matter that there was communication, and I wanted to make sure we protected the board. So that's what that letter is about, highlighted in yellow, was my request to remove the ex officio, for which I'm going to leave some comment to you guys if you'd like to talk about the ex officio comment. The other stuff is pretty much a matter of practice. Things have changed from the original charter.
That's correct.
Yeah, there was methods. Usually they don't put those kind of methods in a charter, you know, where the money is actually handed from one person to another and where it's kept. So they're good changes, and I thank you for putting them in there.
Thank you, sir.
We discussed them already, but so the ex officio is the only thing that really seems to be in question, and it's based on the charter and how the charter was written, and then the bylaws had it included, and it is not a vital piece. Well, let me rephrase that. Some people may think it is vital, as the mayor suggested. I think that my memory serves me correct. It was only 2 meetings ago where the city manager requested to speak to us, and we allowed him to speak to us. And I don't think we would ever deny the mayor a request to come speak to us at any and comment on any of our proceedings. And I don't know that we need to be forced into one way or another to do that, which the ex officio does. It forces us to accept a representative from the city. And where today it might be a congenial person who comes to visit, it could also be someone who causes the meeting some distress, which is my concern. So I guess that's my feeling on the matter. I see no reason to have the ex officio language in the bylaws, because any and all city officials who request to speak to us have always been accommodated and always should be.
That's correct. Just to make it clear, this is allowable to be removed from the bylaws. The act has it as a permissible act, and it was included over the years, so that's why we're talking about it right now, because it was in there. It's not required by the special act to be in there. You may choose to keep it, you may choose to remove it, but it's your choice.
Well, the
right.
way the act reads it reads that if it's in our bylaws,
Correct.
then
Correct.
it works. And if it's not in our bylaws, then it's nothing to be considered. So, again, I think that being forced to go one way or the other is not the way we should proceed. So it's my opinion, and I will open it up to discussion from everyone. We've heard how the mayor feels. Does anyone else have any comments?
I'll chime in real quick. The way it reads is, it's not that any commissioner can come in, it's just the mayor that can come in as an ex officio
Or his rep.
or his representative. And I think that, we always need to be working with our partners, which is the city. And the fact that the mayor of the city, working with the DDA, can either sit or have someone sit on the board, I think is a good thing. Whether, if it's a relationship's not great, let's work on that and get it better. If the relationship's great, it's only going to be that much more powerful. But it's really about relationships. It was in the bylaws before. I think that's why it was in the bylaws, and again, I'm not for changing it because, maybe not as smooth as it has been always. I'm here to work it out and make sure it is smooth moving forward. So
Well,
that's my opinion, as you're entitled to.
Of interest, before the next comment, Aaron, I'm sorry, Aaron, you can go next. I just wanted to mention that we're not going to take action on this today.
Correct.
We're going to take action
But if
next
there's
meeting.
no consensus to move it forward, it won't be brought back for the final
Got it.
approval.
Right. So, and just for the record, all the other things that are more representative of how things are operating now, logistically, with tax dollars and where they go and who's holding them, I'm fine with all that. It's more just this officer's 4.3 paragraph. I have an issue.
Thank you. Aaron?
I don't really see how it benefits us by not allowing the mayor or a representative that he or she chooses to have here. My main concern is, because we had a couple weeks to think about it, was how did we get to this position here? Is there something that we didn't see as a board, or that you found, that we don't see? Because I don't understand, all of a sudden we're acting this out. So I want to know.
Do you mean the bylaw change?
No, why it had to get utilized?
Oh, why did he choose to call up that privilege?
Yes.
I obviously can't answer.
I'd like to, Mr. Mayor, if you could maybe enlighten us.
Well, thank you for the question, but I have always had a keen interest in the DDA, and the fact that other mayors didn't do it, I think is really their loss. I think the more we know this as a city, what the DDA is doing can only help in the relationship, and everyone loves to throw the word partnership around. Partnership is kind of a two-way street. And my view is, being able to come to speak on particular items is helpful, but being part of the process and learning everything that you can learn about what a organization is doing that is getting tax dollars is, I would say, even more important. And having an elected official sitting on a board, which is a taxing board, is a good thing because it shows that there is some transparency and some representation of the public. And I did not know, frankly, because I wasn't following it that closely in the past, that no prior mayor had done it. I think that's a great shame. I think this board does great things. They've done great things, and they'll continue to do great things. And why the mayor chose, or the mayor's representative chose, not to be part of the process, which only improves the communication between the two, I truly don't understand. I never thought it was an issue until I read this the other day, and still think that it's better to have a closer relationship than a not closer relationship. And coming to be able to speak once in a while, that's great. Any member of the public can do that. I think that having it being on the board is kind of a different degree of integration between the two. That's
Cool.
Is that your phone?
No, it's not.
So do you hearing the same thing I'm hearing? It's like there's something embedded in one of the.
If it's a buzzing, I had the sound off.
No, there was something that was further. It was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's in your bag and you're recording.
No, it's not.
Okay, we're still looking for other board comments. Jim, do you have anything to add?
Guess I have a couple of comments. First of all, transparency is critical in any board and whatever else, so forth. I think, Mayor, you were the mayor before, correct, in the city?
I was.
Right, I remember that.
Thank you for reminding me. My picture's
And
up
it
there.
didn't come up back then. I'm not sure how I'm going to vote this one way or the other. I'm still going through in my mind and so forth. But it didn't come up then. I feel like there's been a lot of tension since this has all come up, and I'm a little concerned about that. Again, transparency about everything the DDA board does, I think, is very critical and so forth. But at the same time, I think it's important that we have, it's supposed to be a partnership, doesn't feel like a partnership between the city and the DDA, and it's unfortunate that that's the case. Again, I'd still like, in my opinion, I'd still like to hear how the rest of the board feels about this. And I don't think that any transparency goes away. I do know that if I put in a request, a public record request to the city, and I pay my fee and so forth for like a zoning verification letter, I'm lucky to get that back in 2 weeks. So I think there was a bunch of requests put in a very short time period to turn that stuff around. Again, more details, everything else, I think that's all important. But I think at the same time, I almost get the feeling like there's a bigger picture out there, you know, and I think the DDA does a lot of things. It creates a sense of community here, and I hate to see that go away. I don't think you have the same sense of community in some of the surrounding cities and so forth, so that's kind of just my thoughts and feedback on it. Again, not sure how I'm going to vote.
For the record, I was mayor for 70 days. So I would hardly say that this was it was a.
Jules?
Just before, Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, the consensus to move this item forward or not doesn't measure whether you're going to agree to vote for it or not. Like Jim said, I think that was a good point that he's making. That it's really, do you want to consider it for our vote? Whether you've made up your mind or not is not, reflective of the consensus.
Question for you, Quentin. So there'll be a formal discussion if we give a consensus to move forward with this.
Yeah, at the next meeting, there'll still be the opportunity to further discuss this item if it's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jules?
All I was going to say was, as one of the newest board members, obviously Anthony's slightly newer, but I do feel like I came on board to tension that I didn't expect, and I find that disheartening, only because we're one city, we're one village, we're one town, and we should have a unified sort of approach. And I think that one of the things that I find stressful, sitting up here and also just witnessing it, is this sort of, it is kind of an accusatory relationship, and that I think we need to understand a little bit more, I think to your point before, of, why? Why are there these feelings, and why are there these sort of discussions even being raised to the point where we have to say, okay, well, should the mayor sit on the board or shouldn't he? And I think that we kind of need to get back to the unification and find out, if we're not, why are we not? Why are things being in question? And how can we be solution oriented to get us back on a track where we are mutually goal minded? And that's really, and there's a lot more feelings and a lot more thoughts, but I think if we are going to talk about it again, we can talk about it more the next time. I don't need to.
Thank you. Anthony, before you, I apologize, I didn't welcome you to the board. Our newest member, Anthony, has an amazing history of serving on the commission and other boards, and is a business owner in the West where the bike ride should drive. I agree. And still time this year. And now, if you have any comments for this, thank you.
Thank you so much for that welcome. Not everyone, but the mayor, the transparency is paramount, I think, in a lot of things. You want to kind of know what's going on, but just to me, my read is with the letters that you wrote or the documents that we've been given in regards to it, it would be hard to feel like you don't see something directly that is not amiss, in a sense, based on just what I read. And I don't think that you not stating it here in this arena is your attempt to just lay in wait or see what happens. I just think that I'm genuinely concerned of, like, is it really a smoking gun that we don't see, so to speak? Because as you stated, no one else has wanted to come, not say wanted, but no one else has taken advantage of the opportunity to sit on the board. And even with you then taking this opportunity, you said, I'd come in from time to time, and I don't think you meant you'd show up at every meeting, or maybe you would. But the same concept or thought process is, if there's something more to this, and you're saying, I just want to know what's going on, and I only submitted a public records request and I didn't get it back, and just like Mr. Knight, I too submitted a public records request when I was trying to get everything established. I didn't get it back yet. It's been since April. But the point is if there's more to it, are you able to share? If there is more to it.
I am happy to share. I mean, believe it or not, I chose to do this because I thought I was going to help. And because, there was no ulterior, whatever you said. And as for my letter being, I was rather caught blindsided that you would say to the, on the one hand, oh, we're partners, and on the other hand, oh, by the way, you can't sit at our meetings. I mean, I thought that was rather odd. When it's a dependent agency of the city, and the statute permits that and others have done this, the fact that Delray hasn't in the past, allows that the mayor, which is the chairman of the senior body, to sit as an ex officio. And I confess you weren't here. My behavior at the first meeting probably was a little bit like I was too excited being here, I think it was.
Okay.
That's not my normal way of doing stuff. But in answer, I mean, I have done a lot of research.
Okay.
It was not my intent to
Gotcha.
Disclose all that today.
All right.
I mean, I'm happy to share some information, I think. And again, but I'm reluctant because everybody thinks that I'm becoming accusatory, which I am not. I'm actually trying to help. I'm trying to keep the Tallahassee out of Delray in every single thing that I do. And the way to, when you talk about trying to build friendship and everything, the way to do it isn't to kick off, respectably, to kick off the mayor, who's trying to sit there and do stuff to swing the bat, so to speak.
No, and it wasn't my intent. So
no, I understand. The statute allows for this. You know, I'm not trying to be confrontational. The fact that nobody did it before, I think is unfortunate. And maybe the reasons why some of the contentiousness arose over the period of years, several years, is that there was no representation, because to give, for example, me a better understanding of everything it does is actually a helpful thing. Now, if that is, you disagree with it because they don't like the fact that I'm sitting here, then okay. I mean, I'm going to still be the mayor tomorrow, so and my inquiries don't stop, so to speak, and I get my FOI request answered pretty quickly. I'm sorry you have to wait for all that time. I really am, and that's been a complaint of mine with Development of Services, which you have to come to commission meetings to hear those complaints. But I have complained for a long time. It takes you weeks to get a fence permit. You know, I mean, come on. So I mean, if you want to move forward and have keep having the discussion of whether the mayor should be here, that's certainly your option. I think that it is, most people would think it's a good idea to have the person as part of your thing, because that can only help you in the long run. But I can't, I mean, I'm a non-voting person as it is. I'm answering your question, but it's in the statute for a reason. And yeah, there's a lot of you can technically do a lot of stuff. I don't know that it helps in the long run to say we're getting rid of the only elected official on our board, and I don't think it helps to say we, you know, because you know we can argue whether it was the timing of my FOI request. If you read the FOI request, my initial response was only because I was told, let's come to my office and discuss it. I'm about full transparency. I think everybody on this board should know every dime that's spent at every place. If you buy a cup of coffee for somebody and you use taxpayer funds, I want to know about it. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think you can only improve by doing that. That's all I'm trying to do.
Thank you.
All right. In full transparency, you're also the only mayor that ever said on the June 10th at the workshop that you think the DDA has fulfilled its usefulness and it's not needed any longer. That was you, and that you would save the millage. Now, I don't think you're being fully transparent, but I'm
happy to answer that question too about millage.
I mean, you don't have to answer it. I'm asking the board to please consider moving this forward till we can have a complete discussion next time, so we can review all the information. You have something to say, Cole?
No, I'm in agreement. I think we should move this forward to consensus.
Aaron?
I think we should not move it forward and leave it alone and not change the rules, because I think this is like a knee-jerk reaction, because it's something that's never been done before, and now it's being done. We're throwing flags up. At first, I was kind of hesitant, then I was like, wait a minute, why would I not want the person who controls the money not at the table? I'm not voting on anything, just the last thing I want to do is say, hey, I need $1 million, but get the hell out of my way. You can't do that.
We're the guys that control the money.
It's an uphill climb if you keep doing what you're doing now. And I think you smooth it out by just letting this roll over and seeing how things go. He might never come to another meeting again.
Okay.
We don't know. Why stir the pot?
Okay, is that it for the comments? Everybody?
All right,
need a
I'm
roll
not
call?
sure. No, there is no vote. I just want to see if you all want to bring that particular item for next month's meeting for a final vote on that section for removal of the mayor as an ex officio member.
How about all the items?
Well, the other items, I didn't hear any issues with those.
But we have to move all them forward anyway, don't we?
No, yes.
So we move them forward in the vote.
There's no vote right now. I just need consensus from the members to have a further discussion on that item. I think we got consensus based on no objections for the chapter or section 7 item. So we're just really talking about that what we just had this long discussion about. And I've heard Aaron's discussion. I heard Cole said he wanted to move it forward.
To be honest, I just would like some more time to kind of look over.
Yeah,
everything.
that's
I've been out
fine.
of town last week, so that's why I feel another month to look over everything.
Right, Mr. Chairman wants it to move. Mr. Rosen does not at this point. Mr. Barber, you have any? does not. Mr. Knight does, because he wants to at least have a discussion, and I don't want to put words in your mouth.
We're gonna do this again.
Yeah, that's correct. I would like to continue the discussion on it, and if there are items that need to come out, that there's transparency items right now, let's bring them up right now. If there's items that are out there that we all need to know about that we don't know about, certainly in the letter it sounds like we could be potentially personally liable, it says in there. I'd like to know what that is, what's going on that we don't know about.
Jules?
I think I'm not aware. I mean, I'm brand new. I've sat on one meeting so far, and I walked into this, so I find it all confusing. I do agree. You know, if there's things, then we should know about it, because it's very hard to make determinations without that.
Okay.
So
Can I just say one thing? What whether I stay on the board or not, what does that have to do with the issue that you raised? I mean, I'm not going to sit here I mean, I'll argue my case at the commission, which would be fine. I'm not sure that's in the best interest of everyone if that's what you want me to do, which is what you're saying, because I'm saying I would really rather not even, I mean, we should try to end this discussion and not move this item forward, because unless you're saying, because what you're asking me to do, I don't even think you understand what you're asking me to do. I mean, I'm trying to sit on the board as a DDA member to try to help. You want to test me for what I can do?
No,
okay.
No.
I can do that.
I apologize if that's how I'm coming.
No,
across.
I'm just saying, but the question is, well, we're going to move this item forward, not what we discovered. What I would rather do is to deal with the DDA and what I discover and talk about. If someone would rather at a different forum, I can do that too. I think it's more productive to work in-house. And because if I'm not a member, then I'm not a member.
I'll just say this last thing. The only thing that I think is, under normal circumstances, I think it's very beneficial to have you on the board. I don't think it can hurt at all. I think the fact that there has been all this tension, that's the only thing that makes it come into question as to how productive everyone can be. If there is this sort of either lack of transparency or not an accusation, but this question that's sort of in the air, it just makes it hard for us to all get on the same page.
I agree with you. I suggest to you that throwing me off the board doesn't help your tension.
I think my issue too is the letter that you sent out, that you mailed out, that doesn't feel very in-house.
What, did I send to you?
No, did you not send letters out to residents in the area?
I talked to them about taxes, yes.
Okay,
I talked to them about millage rate, coming and trying to keep, because
to me.
the budget has gone up 100% in 5 years. Now, you may think that's okay, which it is. I'm not saying the money wasn't well spent.
Sure.
That's not my argument. But without any involvement of any elected official, the budget has gone up 100% in the last 5 years, from 1 million to 2 million. Now, we can pretend that this is going unnoticed. It is not. I'm trying to give everyone the ammunition to say, we're fighting back.
Sure.
Okay.
The elected officials were the state government that created the charter and made us this way and gave us 1 mil and gave us the ability to get 1 mil from the growing benefit of the business community.
I will say that Delray Beach was very lucky not to have a sunset provision. Most of the DDAs do have sunset provisions. And what people giveth, they can take away. And all I'm trying to do is to make sure that we don't have a problem here. And if working with me is really not what you want to do, then okay.
We work with you. We work with you whether you're on our board or not. You're the commissioner. You're
right.
the CRA commissioner.
Well,
you're the mayor.
I mean, Mr. Chairman, if you don't, I mean,
well,
all I'm saying is it's better all around to have me work with you than just to appear in your meetings on agenda by agenda item.
I take that more like a veiled threat than anything else.
Why is that a threat?
Big
Well, tell me how that's a threat.
It's up to the board now, and it's up.
I think.
Can you please?
Yep.
Can
I
you
think
please-
I think we have a consensus to move this item for a final vote at the next meeting. So we're going to put this on the agenda. If you have other comments
I got
about
one
the
question.
ballot, go ahead, sir.
Just for you, Big Al. What would we have done differently if he wasn't sitting there?
I would hope nothing.
So what's the matter?
It matters because we are forced to do this.
No.
Instead of, that's my opinion.
No, the paperwork says he can be here. The statute says he can be here. That's what I'm trying to understand is if we wouldn't do things differently with him not here, why would we do things differently with him here? If the paperwork says let him sit here and do what he has to do, then
We'll
let him sit here.
we'll find out at the next meeting if you all
We'll have that
agree to the
discussion
change
once
or
again.
not.
There's nothing's changed now.
Nothing's
We're gonna
changed
have
right
this
now.
discussion again next time.
So I appreciate the opportunity to have that discussion. The next item on the agenda is going to be the interlocal agreement
That's you
between
again?
between the city and the DDA for the technology services for the technology and using this room and the live streaming and such. We had this discussion a few months ago. I don't remember exactly when, but there's going to be a $200 charge for each meeting that we have, and that's the long and short of this agreement. It's just formalizing what we've already been doing and putting in place the dollar figure. So for purposes of approval, I need a motion and a vote on this.
Before we do that, we'll have a discussion, if it's
Of
all right with
course,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the background on what this agreement is for. Just to formalize the process that we're currently taking place. It's meeting here at the City Commission chamber. So it's.
I'm going to open up the discussion on this, guys, because I'm probably the only guy who has experience in another way. Prior to the DDA operating our meetings in this facility, we operated them at several different locations. We did, when the meetings were much smaller and the public was smaller, we had them inside the DDA offices. And I was very happy. 7 members sat face to face. It was very cordial. It was much less official feeling, and it was much more conducive to conversation that I thought moved things forward easier. My opinion. The second thing is that it was implied that we don't want to do this because we don't want the public to watch, and that's certainly not the case. We were always Zoomed. Ever since Zoom was invented, we were Zoomed, and we always were available to the public. I just liked the meetings in the offices of the DDA and in the hotel, various conference rooms, and we had it in the conference room here too. Again, because this is a very formal board setting, being up here and facing the crowd. I liked it when we were at the level of the crowd together, and that's my opinion. I mean, I'm fine with spending $200, whether it's here for the audiovisual or somewhere else, to Zoom or audiovisual, however we get Zoomed and out to the public. I just preferred a more comfortable area. But
is that what we're discussing right now?
Yes.
Is where we're having the meeting?
Yeah.
No. Just the meetings that are going to be here. There's going to be a $200 charge.
Because they're charging us for this audiovisual, we have an opportunity, if we wish not to be here, to go somewhere else.
Just to be clear, I appreciate your opinion. I like being here. I like that people can watch the meetings during the meetings and after the meetings, because when they're on Zoom, people can't see them after the meetings. Not everyone's available at that time to watch the meetings. This is a much better platform. Again, I watch all the city commission meetings after they happen. We discuss millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars that go towards Old School Square, as well as keeping this place clean and safe, and all of our programming supporting our businesses. And I just think, again, being more transparent is very important. It's the best $200 we could spend, in my opinion.
I'm in agreement with Brian on this 100%. I think the transparency is important. I think the $200 is not a big fee to pay for it. I think that, we probably still, I would assume we still have the ability to go out and have meetings at other people's places of business, whether they're at a hotel or a business that opens up, so forth, to get us out in the community. But I still think it's important to have them here. The public's used to coming here. I think that's the best way, especially when there's anything critical like budgets, things like that, so forth, that are taking place.
I'll jump in and just say, I think both, kind of what you just said, I think both are great. This is very formal, and it doesn't allow the intimacy of just comfortable conversation, but it's fully transparent, so I'm fine with that. But I would like to invite the board. I would love, I'm very busy, but I would still love more meetings, because I think once a month when we come to these things, it's kind of hard. We don't have the chance to kind of discuss these things. So my office is open, and we can go on Zoom or use any technology that's available to make it available to the public.
That would all be a breach of, unless like it's
public,
totally.
unless it's public.
Oh,
It has to be open to the
We
public.
talk about things.
that's fine.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that
No one can go to your house.
I'm also happy to do it anywhere else, and to do it slightly more often in order for there to be the ability to discuss things further. That's all.
Yeah, thank you for the
In whatever
intimate
way.
word. I couldn't remember it when I was.
Intimate.
Intimate they are. Okay. Anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm all
We
for
need
it.
a motion though.
Can I get a motion to continue to have
No.
our?
Just a motion to approve the
Yeah,
interlocal
$200.
agreement.
Motion to
Second.
There you go.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
You gonna oppose just for the record?
No, I voted aye. I'm fine.
Okay,
with
no,
it.
that's right. I just wanna make sure the record's
I just like
clear.
the intimate setting. If everyone was with it, it would have been fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, now you're out, Quentin, right?
No, we have Miss
Oh,
Jewel.
sorry.
Miss
Oh,
Jewel.
remove that. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring up, so I know they're doing a visioning committee, I think, right? For the, sort of the direction of the downtown.
Of the city.
And
The city.
sort of
The city as
It's
a
the
whole.
city's
Exactly,
visioning.
the city as a whole, and the aesthetics and so forth and so on. And I think I brought up a question at the last meeting, sort of that, who are we? And the reason that I asked that is because I think sometimes it's very hard to go in the same direction if everyone, especially different organizations, have a different definition of who we are and what we should look like, and who we're trying to get to come and spend the dollars in the city and so forth, and what each district should look like, and sort of how that should read. And I think if we can be part of the visioning committee, I'd certainly love to be involved, only because that's what I do for a living. I do it every day. I work on beautification of buildings and hotels and restaurants and residences and things like that. So I have an expertise in that. So I would love to know if we can put that on the agenda to see how we can be involved in the visioning committee. And and I'm working on a deck, which I'm happy to share with your office, Mr. Mayor, and with the rest of the board, just sort of presenting some ideas and things like that, which I'm happy to share once it's finished. It's just not finished yet.
So she would like for you all to agree to have that workshop meeting. So just either
Well, if I can jump in, Quentin, for a minute, if it's the visioning committee, that's already decided, right? One of the commission meetings not too long ago, they already selected all their people to go on that visioning committee and so forth. So I don't think we want to try to take over anything the city's trying to do or whatever else. It's just
I agree.
our visioning, the DDA visioning may be something totally different.
Right.
But
I
the
think
city
what-
has their own. So
Right.
I don't want to try to
I
step
think
on
what
that.
she wants to do is just to have a discussion so that you all's input can be provided, not to take over an already established committee of the city. So I think she just wants to have some input from a board perspective and have that information provided to those folks.
If I may, even though I'm not supposed to talk and I'm ex officio, let me again offer my help. There has been a steering committee selected. The steering committee is going to be having some meetings, and in fact, they were in town. You had your meeting at 11 o'clock today with the people that are going to be putting this forward. And the goal will be to choose approximately 150 people or so to participate once the agenda is being formed. And you will certainly be able to input into what you want for the agenda. The city is going to have that opportunity. People will be saying, we would like this discussed, and they will all be taken up by the steering committee to decide what they want to do. And then there will be an opportunity for there are people who will apply, some who may not apply. But the whole idea is to have maybe like 150 people together in a room. Well, it used to be in a room. Whether or not some of it is now virtual or not, that's still under discussion. And that because it's since the last fishing I went to 15 years ago, we now have abilities for people to participate remotely. So that's probably likely going to happen to some extent, at least a small group. And then that will be the way. But the DDA certainly, as together with some staff and together with others, will certainly have a way to hopefully get things, to make suggestions of what should be some of the discussion items for the ultimate group that's going to meet sometime in November. Do we decide? What do we decide? November?
I don't know if we have any finite dates as of yet.
Maybe it could be later. It's when everybody's in town.
Thank you. Thank you. The only reason I had brought it up was because I had spoken, I had attended some of the commission meetings, and somebody had just mentioned that perhaps after the initial committee was formed, that there might be, from each of the organizations in town, there would be an opportunity for input from the organization, just as a, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? And so forth. And I thought for the DDA, if we could have that platform, that would be great. I'd just love to be involved if it was an opportunity. That's all.
I think I've
Thank you.
given you the answer.
Anybody?
Mr. Chair, I'd like
Jeff,
to
did
nominate the lady next to me to be on the. Hopefully, I have one of the committees somewhere along the way.
Did you want to comment?
Mr. Chair, Jeff Forrest, Assistant City Manager. The mayor kind of said it all. The appointment of the steering committee does not exclude your involvement. And our discussion earlier today with our facilitator was about who will be included over time, how we will open this up to the public and such. So certainly you'll be notified when there's opportunities, whether it be for a larger group or some other public platforms if they come up. And we will certainly make sure that you're aware of that.
So if we have a workshop and we have input, we don't have to wait until you open it up. We can provide it to you, right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
We'll provide it to the steering committee.
So
It really is only just to give good ideas that can either be rejected or not, or implemented and so forth, but just to be able to have the opportunity to show them.
I guess to follow up my comment was that if everybody's in support of it, love to have you be our person from the DDA board because you're involved with those types of things and so forth. Should there be an opportunity, I'd like to recommend you're the person from here.
okay, so
Great.
I guess if someone can make, is this an
That w-
action?
Yeah, I think she wants an action just to make sure that you all are in line with what she's proposing. I'm not hearing any objection to that because it's really about the input, which is what she articulately
So we're
said.
looking for a motion to create
To just have a workshop of the board
workshop
to
and have-
to provide that input, and the timing on it is going to be determined, after this. But it's just to make sure you all are okay with the idea to do it, because if you don't want to do it, then it's not going to get done, right?
make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Okay,
Second.
there we go.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Back to now.
All right, so now we're into old business. So we have our program updates for July presentation from the
Before
team.
we have the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Jim, how's your knee? Do you want the presentations to be short or eliminated?
Keep going, but not on my behalf. I'll get up and walk around here in a few minutes. So.
Okay, but you're not going to leave.
No,
Okay.
I'm not leaving. No.
Good. Okay, I apologize. Laura.
Thank you. No, thank you. Yes. Jim's health is important, so. All right, so we're going to jump in, just give you some highlights for the July DDA and Old School Square programming, just to give you some input on what we've been doing for the past, month, even though we're in the middle of August. So.
What the 6 full-time employees for the DDA, the 2 full-time employees for Old School Square, and about 3 or 4 contract employees have been doing in downtown Delray.
Lots of volunteers.
Okay, so as far as the DDA, we had Art and Jazz on the Avenue in July. As you all know, this is an economic development program. It's designed to bring people into downtown neighborhoods and introduce them to the businesses in those neighborhoods. We have 3 Art and Jazzes planned for fiscal year 25-26 in the Set, Beachside, and Pineapple Grove. You are looking at our latest one, which was on July 23rd in Pineapple Grove. We had about 3,000 people attend in the heat of the summer, but it was actually a beautiful night. We had no rain. We had 6 bands at 3 different stages, 25 vendors, 3 live dance performances, 2 live mural artists, kids activations, downtown business pop-ups. In fact, all of those downtown businesses, A Little Wild, Almoros, Chip City, TRX, True Vegan, and the Cornell Art Museum all activated within the footprint for that event. It was a really great night in Pineapple Grove. Our next Art and Jazz on the Avenue is going to be September 10th on East Atlantic Avenue. We're going to be doing a special dining theme for Restaurant Month. We are encouraging our restaurants in the footprint to extend their cafe permit and offer dining in the street. That picture on the right-hand side, you can see how City Oyster actually offered this during, I think it was the tree lighting a few years ago. And so we got City Oyster, Rocco's Tacos to offer this dining in the street, and it really does sort of increase the intimacy of these events when you come out into the footprint.
And just one thing, just with the Art and Jazz events, we also encourage any restaurants or retailers or any other businesses that were within the entire downtown to come into that footprint as well. So you don't have to be in that exact footprint to be part of the event.
And speaking of Downtown Delray Restaurant Month, that kicks off in a couple of weeks. Once again, another economic development program designed to highlight our world-class dining scene and also drive traffic into our restaurants during what they say is the slowest month of the year for them. So that is why Restaurant Month is in September. If you all remember our Love Delray Savings Pass, we used a third-party provider. We used Banwango to offer this savings pass, and we're going to be doing the same for Restaurant Month. So this will allow us to get a lot of data. We'll be able to see how our advertising is working, how Restaurant Month is doing for our businesses. People will sign up for this mobile exclusive pass. They'll see the menus and be able to redeem the menus and all the deals on the pass at the restaurants. We've got a broadcast TV co-op going with Discover the Palm Beaches. They are paying half of our broadcast TV buy for Restaurant Month, which is huge. Discover the Palm Beaches has started offering a bunch of co-op opportunities for destinations and its partners, and we are taking advantage of that. We also have strong print, digital, and social advertising, which are going to hit in the next couple of weeks for Restaurant Month. So we're really putting a huge push behind Restaurant Month this year. And as you can see, we've got a lot of restaurants interested. It is right now 50 restaurants have signed up, including Grooves and Cafe Luna Rosa. Thank you both for signing up. So we have a lot of not just restaurants, but cafes, fast casual places, ice cream shops. So it really is going to be the place to be if you're a foodie during the month of September. So we're really putting a lot of push behind this, and we're excited that we have 50 restaurants signed up. I think that might be our... No, we've had more in the past.
No,
okay.
50 is probably our top.
Yeah,
We've had
it is.
50 before, so that's good.
And as far as the Love Delray Feel Good Summer campaign that we did all summer long, it ends at the end of August. And you can see our numbers, our updated numbers from that. We've had almost 2,500 people sign up for that pass and about 320 redeem it. And you can see the big winners in this. Dada was offering 20% off its entire check. Avalon Beach House offering 20% off its entire check. We had a bunch of offerings for Old School Square, and you can see a lot of people took advantage of that. If they're offering a good deal, people are going to take advantage of it. If you signed up for this pass, you might have seen that you got a text message yesterday. We are able to directly communicate with pass holders, so that is another option that gives us a really good way to communicate to people about what's happening in downtown Delray. This was actually in August, but I did want to bring it up because it was part of the Love Delray summer campaign. We partnered with the Cold Collective for a fitness event at Old School Square, fitness and cold plunge event. We had 4 downtown gyms offering fitness classes. It was a huge success. 30 wellness vendors, and that was 15 downtown businesses, not 12, participated in this event at Old School Square. It was hot, but I have to tell you, with the cold plunges, it actually made it sort of doable. But they offered a lot of our downtown fitness studios offered half-hour classes during the entire event, so it was a really great event. All of the businesses in downtown that participated, from Deeks to Tammy Fender Spa, they all said that it was a huge success for them because these are people that they were trying to reach this audience. It was a very niche audience. As far as the Love Delray Full Moon Yoga and Sound Bath, we did mention this last month, but this was also in July. We did just pull the placer numbers. We had 1,100 people on campus that night. It was a Thursday night in the heat of summer, and it turned out to be an event that people want us to bring back. We are working with Pedro and Jessica right now to potentially bring this back as a monthly event at Old School Square in 2026. As far as upcoming Love Delray events, we are doing Wellness Wednesdays that happen every Wednesday, Yoga at the Museum, Pilates, TRX, Boot Camp, all on campus. And then our final Love Delray summer event is going to be September 20th. We're bringing back MC Yogi in the Vintage Gym for a yoga and music experience. As far as openings, we have a lot of openings coming in downtown Delray. True Vegan's going to be opening soon. Beach Club Pizza, where Lionfish used to be, the Spice and Tea Exchange, Cellini Coastal Mediterranean. I don't know if you all know, but Costa has closed, and this Cellini is coming in its place. Bricktops, the Rabbit Hole, Tropical Smokehouse, Duncan, Amar is replacing Gesto. So Gesto is going away and turning into a sandwich shop. As far as closed, we have La Couture, which is closed, Lovely Tea, Whale Tea, and unfortunately we just learned this weekend that Gary Rack's Fish House is closing. These are our numbers as far as advertising, public relations, our website. These are all our communication channels with our residents, our downtown businesses, and the community. We are still holding very strong in our public relations with $34 million worth of coverage. This is, I can't tell you enough how much downtown Delray is in the news because of our public relations. Our website, we are seeing 73,000 page views a month. That's huge. And they're spending about 1.5 minutes on our site. Some of the top sites usually are always the event page, but Art and Jazz, Happy Hour, Love Delray Downtown, and the 4th of July. Email blasts, we're up to almost 27,000 contacts. Our average open rate is 45%. We send about 150,000 emails a month. So we are really pumping out those emails to just communicate with our residents and our visitors. Social media, we're up to almost 140,000 followers. This is really interesting. Our impressions on social media this past month were over 2 million. We average about 1 million impressions a month, so we're up about 50%. Go, Emily. Where's Emily? Emily is rocking it. She is really killing it. And we have 26,000. So it's not just people following us. They're engaging with us. It's engaging content, and that is super important. Okay, Visitor Information Center, Shelley.
Well, despite being the slow month of summer, we were actually up 19% over the prior year. So it was a good month for us. As you can see, we're seeing a ton of people from all over Florida. Not typical. We've seen a lot of Florida non-Delray residents come into our center. Europe's up again too, so that's unusual or different than it has been in previous months. Just some next highlights is we have a beautiful Sister Cities poster that's now visible and hanging on our wall in the visitor center, so stop by to see that. We did a shop and stroll during July with some of our volunteers just to make sure we walked in every shop and knew every shop beachside what was going on, who they were, make sure they knew what kind of menus they have or content they carried in their stores. So if people were coming specifically looking for things, we could point them in the right direction. Candleland was our spotlight in July, had a beautiful setup there at our spotlight display. And just wanted to point out, we had 245 plus volunteer hours in the month of July. Awesome. Our volunteers help us a ton and do a lot for us and really help make our events amazing. And then finally, wanted to show you, we got a nice shout out in the Atlantic magazine. Here's our wonderful volunteer, Rochelle, who's relatively new actually, and she got featured on who's in the news. So
Love it.
It was a great month of the volunteers, the visitor center.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.
Coming
Shelley,
up.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, how long have you been with us?
Only since January.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Thank
really.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, she's killing it.
But she's been a volunteer for a while, so but she's.
I know.
Yeah.
But taking over for BJ wasn't easy, and you've done great. Absolutely great.
So here's what's coming up in downtown. Save the date. As I mentioned, Downtown Delray Restaurant Month kicks off September 1st and is all month long. We have First Friday Art Walk on the 5th, Art and Jazz on the Avenue on East Atlantic Avenue on the 10th. The 12th and 13th is the Davis Cup. As you all know, the World Cup of Tennis. That's going to be at the Delray Beach Tennis Center. And then September 20th, as I mentioned, the Yoga and Music Experience with MC Yogi. All right, now let's move on to Old School Square. I just wanted to bring this back up because this was in July, even though we kind of talked about this. Our July 4th throwback weekend with the pop culture exhibition opening inside the museum. Then we had the Pop 2000 tour with NSYNC, O-Town, LFO, and Ryan Cabrera at the amphitheater that night. We had about 2,000 people on campus that night because of these two events. But the big thing that happened in July that really was amazing was Harold Caudio, who's part of the pop culture exhibition inside the Cornell Art Museum, did an art talk. It was titled Not Candy on July 19th, and he revealed a special piece of art that he created in the likeness of Coco Gauff. And he unveiled it to Coco's family. And so her mom was there, her grandmother, Miss Odom, was there, a couple of aunts and other family members were there. What's that?
Jules was there.
Jules was there.
I was there.
Yeah,
Al was there.
It was. There were 300 people in attendance for this art talk, which is amazing, and everyone in the audience had chills. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. Harold, first of all, just talked about his process and how he creates and why he creates. And he really talked about authenticity and being true to himself and true to the collective and the community. And he also talked about the power of women, and that's why he created this. And he has another piece called Warrior, which is that in the top left-hand corner in the middle, that's his warrior piece. But he talked about women like Miss Odom, who are trailblazers and have made a huge impact on their community. And it was funny, Miss Odom was talking about how she was a teacher in that same building at the Cornell Art Museum many, many years ago. And it was like full circle coming back there and celebrating her granddaughter. So it was a really beautiful moment. That piece, the Coco Gauff piece, is going to be on display in the Cornell Art Museum for the life of the pop culture exhibition, and then it will be donated to the family. We also had an art talk with Ralph Papa, who's in our Spotlight Gallery with his impressions of Italy. We sold about $1,200 worth of art, and there were 63 people for that. The Cornell Art Museum also was involved in art and jazz and had fun art activation for families at Art and Jazz. It was packed the entire night. And these are just totals for July for Cornell Art Museum: 1,700 in attendance, more than 2,000 in donations, more than 2,000 in museum store sales, art sales about $2,000, and then 200 plus in docent hours. Next up is Dorothy Gillespie, retrospective, Color in Motion. Dorothy Gillespie is an icon in the art world. She has spanned 7 decades of art and was kind of the forefront in female American art. And we are honored to have her. The opening of this exhibition will be on October 18th. As far as the amphitheater, we had another free sunset concert, and boy, did they come out for this one. So we clocked in about 2,800 people on campus that night for this. We were turning people away because we hit maximum capacity. And it was a beautiful night. The weather cooperated. We had Spider Cherry opening, and then the Fleetwood Mac tribute band True Rumors. And it was just a great night. Lots of families came out, and it was really, really a good night at Old School Square. We're expecting the same for this Friday's free sunset concert as well. And this is a look at the Old School Square advertising and communications. We're up to about 5,100 on the email blast, social media. You're seeing a strong growth in followers, impressions, and engagement. Public relations is very strong on the campus as well. And then you see our website. These are all really strong numbers as far as our communications to our residents and visitors. And coming up at the square, we have another free concert this Friday. It's a Billy Joel tribute with the Turnstiles. August 30th, we're bringing back Party in Paradise, which is Delray's tribute to Jimmy Buffett. Very successful last year, and we're doing it again this year. And then once again, the Yoga and Music Experience with MC Yogi on the 20th. And that's it. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question.
Oh, Anthony's got a question.
Yep.
On the list you had of all the new restaurants opening, it's 2 restaurants. Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, I mean, it's coming. I don't know when it's coming.
So what we report is what we have. Either we have their date of opening or they have opened.
So Dunkin' is on West Atlantic. Dunkin' Donuts, where the old Bears
6th.
used to be.
Cool.
So right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming in right where Bears is, as well as Tropical Smokehouse is coming in as well. So
Who's coming into the Lionfish?
It's called Beach Club Pizza. It's a pizza place.
Okay.
Good margins.
All right. Laura?
and we have a full running list too, just so that everyone knows we have a open, close, change out, change of management. So we just keep that ongoing.
Can you put
So-
it in the next month?
Absolutely, we can send it out to you before then.
Yeah.
So you can just
I used to like to look at it.
yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
And we are updating as well the visitor guide of restaurants and retailers and our parking information. So that is in the works right now. So we're doing a full deep dive and getting all of that information updated. Actually, Shelley's working hard on that. So with the team, but that will be coming out in the fall. So that is also in the works as well. So want to jump in as well as we go into the next item, unless there's any questions on our report. Any other questions? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right, good. Okay,
Are we
so we are,
We're going to approve minutes and stuff. Are we going to move that?
no, we're going to go right into 5B. Is that okay?
Okay.
Which is really, right now I'm going to present both, if you can. Last meeting, we just went through the DDA budget, but I want to go in to both of these. We have 2 presentations outlining the forecast for the coming year for the Downtown Development Authority's budget, as well as the Old School Square proposed budget, and for your information, we have been requested to present to the City Commission tomorrow at their commission meeting on the Old School Square proposed budget for the coming year. So we'll have similar presentations as well. So if we want to start, you have the clicker, correct? Okay. So just some high level things. You all are very familiar. This is more for our public. This is our downtown district map of where our boundaries are of our Downtown Development Authority district. And a reminder too, just as an explanation of what we do. Everybody that was at the town hall got a full glimpse of this, but placemaking or place management is really about the beautification, the public quality of life, which with our creating that ambiance where our street pole banner program, our safety ambassador program, we have some other initiatives around our just really the downtown and how it works, our litter abatements with cleaning and keeping clean and safe. It was clean and safe back in the day, and now it's really around, it's called placemaking, which is a place management term. Economic development and marketing are the other areas as well. So I know we're running long, so I want to make sure that we have time to talk through the details. So as we talked about past couple months, we've talked about the highlights of what our priorities are going into the new priorities, if you will, going into the year. Our main focus is really going to be on that strategic planning, kind of as Jules has been alluding to. Is we have to have a roadmap for the next 5-10 years. Our strategic plan is overdue, and creating that roadmap is going to be essential for us. And engagement of the stakeholders, and that is essential, and that's a lot of what we have been hearing from our stakeholders is we need more constituent engagement, which is also part of our marketing and economic development and operations, is really getting stakeholder involvement, really creating more town hall opportunities, more opportunities to share and gain insight and feedback from them, and so to help us navigate through. Also, some of the top issues that are really kind of roll up into what our priorities are. Obviously, parking is essential and always seems to be a challenge and very important with the downtown. Everything about parking and what we need to have employees, visitors, everyone here, customers, parking, and being able to navigate the parking is essential. And that was as a survey that we put out to our constituents. Parking was the number one, 2, 3. And at our town hall, we broke everybody up into these 5 categories and had them bring forward some solutions. So we have a list of great recommendations, some new recommendations and some old recommendations around parking, events, beautification, keeping that charm of the downtown. So we're wrapping all of that together. The actual town hall was recorded, and it is on our YouTube page now, so you can actually go, if you weren't there, go watch it, and really encourage the City Commission as well as they prepare for their plans going forward as well. Public safety is a huge issue, as well as something that is really important, very, very important to our entire downtown. If it's not clean, it's not safe, and if it's empty, people won't want to come here. So those are all things that we need to focus on, as well as balancing cost and crowding. So those are ways that we're looking at. So we'll bring those back to you, because I think those are things that we're going to evolve as we go through this process. So let's start on the numbers. As you know, our ad valorem tax, our maximum is the 1 mil on the value of the downtown, and our value is increasing every year, and a lot of that is related to the new construction or new development or redevelopment. And this equates into the $2,037,980 for our operating budget. And this breaks down into these areas. So we've on the left-hand side is our 24-25 numbers, as well as, and then comparatively to what we're forecast for this coming year. You'll see on the grant line item, this current year with that 30,000 that's in there is actually it should be 48,000 in there, but it's the 30,000 we had in line for the camera project for the police. So that is not something that's been requested going forward for next year at this time. So that is not in the 25-26 projection. So next. So I'm going to break this down for you all. And in your backup, I've given everybody your budget workbooks, and there's in your budget, we did do the detail with the descriptions next to that. So hopefully if we go through this, if you have any questions or comments or things that you want to bring up, please jump in. Website, we have our launch. We've been this whole year working on creating a brand new website, which is geo-focused, which is, and Suzanne, you can jump in on this area because this is your expertise on this whole marketing section. But marketing is a huge part of what we do, and the Downtown Development Authority is really the marketing arm for our downtown and really for the city. Before, many years ago, we had the Delray Beach Marketing Cooperative, the Downtown Marketing Cooperative, which was a joint venture that was the marketing arm and an events arm for our city, and the DDA was a huge part of that. And now, as things have changed over the many years, the DDA has absorbed a huge part of that. We've always had marketing as a strong initiative, because that is really how you get people here. We can have the most beautiful town in the world, but if no one knows about it and they don't know how to get here and they don't find out about it, then what good are we? So we can't stop marketing ourselves. So our team's done a really great job of that. And then the website is really going to be essential to this, because when they're here, this new style of website for our customers, for our residents, for our visitors will find. So if they're at Grooves Delray, I'll use that as an example, they'll see what else is around them. They'll be able to find what other businesses.
They'll see the closest parking lot.
Right.
They'll see the closest place to eat dinner, or not for Grooves, obviously, it would be the closest place to stay. So it will automatically populate all of that information and give that to the user, which is really, it's next level.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. And it's really, everything that we're doing is about focusing on downtown Delray, bringing downtown Delray here. It's not a DDA marketing effort. So our economic development or economic vitality this year, just some clarification for our new board members, we moved events, which are Savor the Avenue, Art and Jazz, Mother's Day Orchid Giveaway, Restaurant Month, our art walks, all of the event activations that we do, even the tree lighting or any other part events that we partake in that have logistical expenses, that we moved into economic development, because they truly are economic development events. We had them in the marketing section, and we've moved them actually from Brian's recommendation based on looking at the budget, really looking at these as economic development drivers. So putting that into our economic development area, because that's our goal there. So business development, we're enhancing this with that business navigation, permit expediters, anything that we can do to help our businesses as they start and new businesses come on board. Creating more tools and resources or services available for them right at the get-go. So we are completing the downtown or the handbook that is in works right now, and that's going to be completed by the end of this year. So then it's now implementation and getting that out to all of our business owners so they know how to maneuver, not to tint their glass or have certain things that are going to now get them code enforcement knocking on their door. So we want to get them ahead of time before that happens. Our data platforms, I put in there that we've got Placer, which is our visitor traffic. This is a huge platform for us and a game changer. Really, we understanding like who is the customer, who's coming here, where are they from, what's their income, what's their demographic, all of these things. Which is great, and Ginkgo is also going to be working in tandem with our website as well. So that is our basically our data management platform for all of our constituents, residents, visitors. We could have a breakdown in there of how many, basically our properties and where they are and how they work. So that's essential for us to hold on to. The strategic plan is in here, and then our activation grant program, which is in here as well. So that is something that we're going to continue. are recommending to continue. Placemaking. So placemaking is, we have for our safety ambassador program, we're keeping that right now at its current hours, 7 days a week, and we have 4 ambassadors that are on Friday night and Saturday night. So right now we have no plans to change that. It is an hourly program, so there are hourly rate changes. That's what the forecast will be as we go into this, just changing and increasing. We have tenured employees in there that's been with our downtown safety ambassador program since 2018, which is great. Street pole banner program. Our goal is to have a new welcome banner. Our discussion is to go do a call for artists to do a new welcome banner for that. So that is something that we want to incorporate into this coming fiscal year. And then the lighting. So our holiday lighting, which is the whole month of December, which is the entire downtown, as well as our decorative lighting program. We have a second payment for West Atlantic and Pineapple Grove, as well as Libby Plaza is going in this year, and we'll have some maintenance up there, but looking at Worthing Park, as well as, is everything okay? Oh, sorry. Okay. The other additional, we have the lighting under the bridge, as well as the looking at Beachside coming up as well. So we've got a lot of wear and tear on those lights, so really keeping those lights, because that is about the ambience, and when those lights, especially in our core areas, keeping that as an additional safety feature. It really brings that, as far as the cafe lighting, bringing that feeling to those different districts. If you want to go back one more, just on the place piece. I have on here Veterans Park planning, because this is an initiative we need. I've got it in here. We don't have a number assigned to it. However, it is something that we are hyper focused on, as that project, as Atlantic Crossing is well on their way. And then also we've had neighboring neighborhood associations, the Palm Trail Homeowners Association, sorry, my mind went blank, met with us, and they are really very, very focused on what's going to happen with that park. So they want us to be really involved in that as we move forward, and see how it is a very important historical park in our big part of our downtown, as well as Libby Wesley, as well as Worthing. So we need to really maintain. These are older parks now, and we really need to see how we can continue to stay on top of them. So
is a question is it,
yes.
I believe the developers were supposed to put $500,000 or $1 million towards the park renovation or something. There's supposed to be some funds allocated to the park as part of the development.
I don't believe that has happened at this point.
All right, I thought that was part of the deal.
It was. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's not anymore now. It's okay.
No, so we'll work closely with the city, as well as looking at grant opportunities. So those are things we want to make sure that we don't want the Atlantic Crossing to be done and now the park. So we want to make sure that we're working, and it's not something that can happen quickly, and it's really in a very, very important place. I know that there's a lot of involvement from the Preservation Trust, the city, everybody's involved in that.
Yeah, I love the park, want to keep the park. I know there's talk of making it historic, but then if you make it historic, then you may be stuck with the green bowling forever.
Again, this is part of our conversations, future.
So I just want to make sure we don't, want to see it proceed. It's important green space, but I don't want to see it get locked as it is, for any reason. So that's just my thoughts to put out there as the park is.
Good. Well, definitely. I mean, it's not something that's going to happen in a vacuum, for sure.
I will say to you that the recreational portion in the back of the park is under consideration to either convert to croquet and have tournaments, because there's a league. I understand the issue with the lawn bowling. I used to say that there's only 12 of them, but now there's 10. I think 2 are no longer with us. But I mean, there is a strong move to make sure that we preserve the park as a park, and I support that. And whether it's historic or not historic, whether it has negative covenants or whatever it is, to preserve it as a park. I think we have to keep the park as a park.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Yeah, again, I just think it's these green spaces.
Or
are so
condos,
Right.
depending on what you, whatever. No, that's a
Well,
joke, everybody.
I think the point of it really needs to be a community involvement as well. It has been always one, like as its current use, was community involved to create, as all of these are. So I think it's really important that we try to.
We lost
did
the
that.
money from the park because we refused to give the area that is currently the parking area for the park, that the developer wanted to take that and incorporate that as part of his project. And for that, he was going to redo the park.
So we kept
And
the parking.
when we
control.
retained that so that people could access the park through the parking lot, that option was taken off the table.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for the clarification. It's nice.
I'm happy to help any way I can.
Operations. So this is our operation. So this is the service part of to fill all of those things is the team. So our payroll, salaries, payroll, and benefits, contract operations, which is audit, bookkeeper, legal, office expense, which is rent, IT, supplies, and then we have capital in there as well. And this is, so that concludes
Laura,
our, yes, excuse me.
I'm sorry that you went to that page, so I wanted to stop right there.
Okay, that's fine.
I went through
I'm not
this
clicking, Susanna.
in
She's
terms
like-
of transparency, and it's amazing. It's complete for me. It was great. But what really stuck out to me is, I guess 7 or 8 years ago, when Carrie was the mayor, we sat down at the time when I was on the board of the DDA then, and we talked about percentages of salaries. And our salaries were about 34% then of the DDA budget. And there were city departments that were 60, 70, 80%. There were other alphabet agencies that were much higher. And yet, Carrie thought 34 was a reasonable number. And this is basically with expenses, with taxes and benefits, you're just a little over 30% with a team that delivers all the stuff you just showed. I just want you to know, I read it and I couldn't believe how amazing that number is, that you've done that. I've watched you build this team from only one staff member with you in the old office, and you've built it to this point, and you run the old school square, or at least part of it, and the part that's open, I should say. And it's astounding. It really is. And I want to say take a bow, but there's...
No, it's
but
it's a team effort.
That's me clapping because I'm so proud.
Well, thank you. I think
you
what
should
I'd
be.
like to do is, before we go into comments or questions, can we do Old School Square 2? Just we didn't get a chance to do that last time, and I don't want to. And then, so let's go through that, and then we can come back and have discussion. Is that okay? That's good. Is that okay with
with
everybody?
me.
Okay. So we'll just speed. You okay, Suze?
Yeah. Just let me get that up.
Okay. All right. So let's roll right into this. And feel free to jump in if I missed.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions when we're in the process, please, jump in with anything. If you're not understanding a bucket or, what dollars are being assigned to, please let us know. But let's just start with the history of the DDA management. We do have a lot of new board members. I just want to make sure the public understands that in August of 2021, the city terminated the lease of the current organization, OSS Center for the Arts. In October 2022, the city and the DDA held a workshop on Old School Square, and the city said, okay, we want the DDA to run Old School Square. In November of 2022, we signed an individual ILA for the Cornell Art Museum because the goal was to get that open first. In December of so a month later, we reopened the Cornell Art Museum in December of 2022. In February of 2023, we signed the ILA for the entire OSS campus. And then in March of 2023, so a month later, we were producing our first event at the amphitheater. In April, we took over management of all private events on campus. In September, the city wanted to remove the Crest Theater building because there was talk of having OSS Center for the Arts retake over that building. That did not happen. They put in an RFP, and it ended up the city taking back over the Crest Theater building. And then in October of 2023, the DDA took over the vintage gym management and rentals from the city. And then in September of last year, our ILA renewed automatically for a 5-year term. Just to give you guys a quick timeline. This is a look at that interlocal agreement and what it says, that basically we'll be in charge of programming, exhibitions, special events, on the campus, administration, setup, operation, maintenance. And this is a look at our responsibilities at Old School Square: programming, facilities management, and marketing. Those are the 3 buckets that we're doing at Old School Square. And this is just a quick look at the number of visitors on campus per year. In 2021, that number was about 220,000. The city was actually doing events on the campus at that point. In 2022, the DDA opened the Cornell Art Museum in December, and we had 228,000 visitors on campus. In 2023, that was the DDA taking over the campus in sort of the beginning or to middle of that year, and that was at 270,000 visitors on campus. Last year was the full year of DDA management. We recorded 301,000 visitors on campus, and year to date so far for 2025 is 170,000 visitors. And just to take a look at what the DDA is doing on that campus, in 2023 we produced 85 events on campus. That is, a little less than twice a week, basically. In 2024, we upped it to 92 events, and year to date so far this year, we've produced 89 events on the Old School Square campus. All right, Laura, you want to talk about priorities?
Sure. So as outcomes from all of our meetings, these are the priorities that we're focusing on in addition to what we're doing with the management, celebrating the 100th anniversary. So again, the gym and the Crest building turn 100 this year. We're taking the opportunity to highlight that as the 100th anniversary of Old School Square as a whole, as well as the 30th anniversary of the campus as well under its revitalization. Rebrand launch, so we finalized the brand and now we're launching that in conjunction with this anniversary of the campus, which will be all year, like an all year long celebration. Obviously revenue generating events, and those will primarily be mostly less than we did last year. We're having to review our budget and be more, it's a very smaller budget this year. So being more strategic on what we're doing with that, we instituted the tribute series last year and charged for those versus doing all free, and we offset our costs by 50%. Each concert that we're producing on campus costs anywhere from $25,000 to $28,000, depending on the equipment that's brought out there or the staff hours and talent. Bring back Art on the Square. So Art on the Square is a juried art show that was a money maker for the Old School Square Center for the Arts. And when Mariska was the director for the museum prior and years ago, she produced this event, and it has an opportunity to bring us income back into our budget, which is helpful. So looking to bring that, and people have been asking for it, so it's something that we're looking to produce in February. We also heard at our town hall, along with in our surveys, is that more family events and constant activations, and then stronger summer programming. So summertime is when we need people here. This has been the slowest summer we've seen in a very, very long time as far as activity in the downtown. Just visitor traffic is down. So in order for us to be mindful, season's busy. We've got a lot of events that are going to be taking place from private producers on the campus. So taking the opportunity to fill in some gaps during season, but also really look at being more strategic for summertime for programming.
The CRA grant for repair of the landscaping, the $500,000?
It's not a grant. They are putting funding. They have funding set aside to put towards improvements on the campus as it related to some master plan suggestions that were put in around lighting of the building, as well as some potentially landscaping to better.
Are they moving on that at all?
We've met briefly, but we are moving forward with additional meetings on that.
The suggestions from Mr. Kent for the art that would spill out from the is
outdoor.
That part of that?
So
at
at the
same
next
time?
exhibition, so we've been as Mariska plans her exhibitions, those are things that she's including in that, and some of these like art on the square, other things she is including that as part of an opportunity, meaning having outdoor art exhibition. So the October exhibition, her next new exhibition, will have outdoor art pieces as part of that. So it'll be fantastic.
But the CRA won't be complete in any way doing the landscaping at that time.
No, that we're far away from that. So right now, there are also many events of the privately produced events, such as the Delray Fair or even potentially Garlic Fest. The Delray Concourse looking to utilize the front lawn of the museum more often in these events. So, which is great. And then also some of that, like the constant activations or passive activations, those that would include opportunities to either cafe tables or other things that we can put out there, or even these Wellness Wednesdays events that we've been doing. We're utilizing the front lawn of the museum, which does since it makes it look like there's actually something happening there. Under the priorities, so restrooms and facilities, those are things that we've been meeting with the city on to really, I think, put on their radar and plan to upgrade those restrooms in the concession stand. And the other piece is really creating a strong plan for the entire campus, the entire 5 acres, and how it works together, including the Crest Building, Creative Arts School, and the entire campus as a unit. So that is definitely a need going forward.
There are some major capital improvements that need to be done on the campus. Like, we're getting to that point where it can't go by the wayside anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What about the flooding in the back?
That's part of that.
Part of it. Yeah. So here's a look at the overall projected revenue coming in. This is a look at fiscal year 25-26 for Old School Square from the city. The funding, we're projecting about $800,000, which is what they gave us last year. As far as rental income, about $50,000. Program income, meaning from ticket sales and concessions, that's about $170,000. Donations and sponsors, $25,000, and museum store sales, about $10,000, which leaves us at just over $1 million to run the entire campus. And let's break it down by buckets again. So we have operations, marketing and advertising, and then the individual venues, programming and operating those individual venues. Any questions about this? We're going to break it down further.
Let's go.
Only
Let's just break it down.
We had asked for more money last year than we got, and considerably
Sure.
less. What have we cut back?
Programs.
Just actual programs.
Yeah, you can't program as much.
The plan, the strategic plan, there are things we had in there for that. So,
okay.
Yep.
So this is a look at the payroll and facility expenses. So this is legal, security on campus, administrative costs, payroll for employees and contractors. That's a look at the operations number, about $427,000. There were some questions about, and we've got some public records requests about specific salaries. So I just wanted to lay this out, get very granular on this so we can just clear up some of these misconceptions that we're all getting rich off of Old School Square over here. Okay, so taking a look at the 2 full-time OSS staff members, we only have 2 full-time OSS staff members. That is the Cultural Arts Director, which is Maruska's salary, and Operations Coordinator, which is Alex. That's about $132,000 for 2 employees. Then we have a contract special events manager, other contract staff. We have 4 part-time museum staff, which are paid hourly. And then we have a small budget that we allow for DDA team overtime. So this is our team going and working these events, and we do get an hourly rate if we work past overtime on these events, and that's a $10,000 budget. And then campus security, about $25,000, and that's contracted. And then there were some specific questions about Laura and I's salary, and so we wanted to lay that out. That is not paid at all by the OSS funding. Both the executive director and the marketing director and the marketing coordinator are all paid for solely by the DDA. We basically are giving our services to Old School Square as part of this agreement. The DDA pays 100% of OSS oversight management, and Laura was paid an additional $10,000 a year, if you all remember, retroactively by the DDA for her oversight. And that's not nearly enough, in my opinion. And the marketing team, the DDA pays 100% of the OSS marketing management. That's 2 staff members who manage all marketing for both DDA and OSS. All right, now going on to marketing and advertising. And once again, this is, we're combating still because of the former organization's digital footprint. So we are having to keep our foot on the gas in marketing. And this is a look at how that breaks down. We are getting a lot of attention to the campus, and that equates to visitors. The Cornell Art Museum, this is a look at the exhibitions and events and activations. Mariska is constantly bringing in new activations and exhibitions, world-class exhibitions that are getting a lot of attention. And so this is a look at her budget, $103,000 for fiscal year. As far as the amphitheater, we break it down into 2 separate programs. Our winter programs, which is our concerts, movies, shows, any outdoor games, that's a separate line item. And then the summer festivals, so we're looking to spend about $150,000 in the winter and then another $150,000 in the summer for those activations at the amphitheater. And that will include a dedication to 100th anniversary on campus. As far as maintenance, this is a look at our maintenance budget. Obviously, the city does most of the maintenance on campus, but there are some things that we like to put, what I like to say, putting lipstick on a pig, doing some pressure spraying, some painting, making it just look nice around campus with what we can do with our budget. We did want to break this out about the Creative Arts School to show you that this is what the city is proposing to spend on the Creative Arts School, which is about $426,000 next year. I think that's pretty interesting. That is one program at Old School Square that the city is proposing spend more than half, that's 53% of what the entire campus costs. So I do think that's pretty interesting. And any questions or comments?
So with that, and actually it's one of those things to look at too, as the campus as a whole, how much it costs to operate, and that's in a very nimble numbers.
Yeah.
So we just need to, we've heard a lot of, and also if we're looking at wanting grants or, and then also when you look at just of their amount of budget, only $9,000 is used for marketing. So we're carrying a lot of the marketing load for the entire campus with our budget as well, which is, it's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be bringing people to the entire campus, bringing awareness, driving people to that to Old School Square. So with that, I think if we want to go back maybe to the, or just to back to the board for any comments, questions. Are you done, Jim? Or are you? Okay.
You okay?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is discussion only. Again, these are opportunities for anything you need to see, you want to change, you want to questions on, want us to bring back more detail to you on. Please, this is what this part of the conversation is about.
The same presentation is going Tuesday to the commission?
Yeah. We're adding some. We're going to add some things, just more highlights.
But roughly that's it.
That's really the point of us sharing with the commission at that point of really sharing what our plans are, what our request is of the city, so that way we can see how we'll be funded for the next fiscal year.
Okay, I'm going to open up discussion then by the board. So,
Is
any board
everyone
members
awake?
like to, just discussion, there's no vote, there's no call?
Cole's on
Okay.
Europe time right now.
I'm sorry?
He's just got back from
No, I thought he was
vacation.
getting ready.
No, okay.
He looked deep in thought, and I thought, I apologize. Aaron?
No, good.
Okay. Going right down. Brian?
How many months we have left in this year, this fiscal year?
5, 6.
So we're talking right now. We're talking just on our, but we're not on our. So our fiscal year ends on September 30th. Yeah. So just for our fiscal for going forward, just if there's any questions on our projected budget, if you have any questions or comments, if not, we can move on to the next item on the agenda.
Just making sure.
Oh, Jeff Orris, there you go.
You have no comments?
Not on the proposed budget.
Okay.
Okay.
Anthony?
Yes.
It's kind of thrown at you, I know, because you're brand new, but would you like to say anything?
Just would like to thank the board for welcoming me and having me, and I look forward to working with all of you in the future on all kinds of upcoming projects and being a great pillar to all of the successes that the DDA looks to continue to work upon and build upon.
How about thank you for volunteering to serve?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
right.
Jules?
We're
You're good?
on item.
All right.
Just we're still on item 5B. So.
I assumed you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeff.
you're not a board member. Hold on. Mayor.
I'll save my comments for the commission meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Jeff Forrest, Assistant City Manager. I did want to inform you that the city anticipates that its contribution to the Creative Arts School will be awash with revenues that are generated through the classes there. So while it looks like a large number we're investing in, we expect most, if not all of that number plus back.
That,
The revenue last year was $77,000, and the city makes 30% of that. So, I mean,
That's good.
oh, I'm only confused because when our previous board member Vera luckily caught for the school the fact that the website was saying that the school was closed when it wasn't. We asked, and we got a report from the art school, and it said that revenue was $63,000 in that letter, if you remember. So it's going up to like $400,000.
Revenue. We may not spend all of that. A lot of that number is dedicated for paying teachers. Teachers only make money if there's a class.
Right.
So a large chunk of last year's budget was not spent.
Got it.
So we anticipate it will not be operating in a deficit.
Oh, that's good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Actually, I had a question, Laura. Just to clarify, so last year's amended budget from ad valorem taxes was $1,837,000, correct? It then 25-26 draft budget is $2,037,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That's ad valorem taxes. Yes. So in our so in the income area, we don't forecast for any sponsorship that we receive or any miscellaneous income, other
That's
revenues
just
that come in.
strictly ad valorem taxes.
So we just forecast our budget based on the ad valorem.
Okay.
Our goal obviously is to raise we've in the past gone from anywhere from 80,000 to 100,000 in additional revenue. So which we continue to strive for moving forward with sponsorship, miscellaneous income through vendor fees to offset expenses on our events and programs and marketing.
Okay,
So.
thank you.
Yeah, Jim.
I think we should, because there's kind of a history of how much money you've raised from sponsors, things like that and so forth. So I think you should start putting
Forecast?
a portion of that forecast in there, and maybe that will give a little push to even raise a little bit more, So I just think it's a good idea
An
just because of the fact.
An emotional
Yeah, exactly.
Is that something you'd like to see going in this current, as we forecast, bring our budget back for final approval?
I don't well, depends on what the rest of the board feels, so forth. But I'd just like to see
I
it
was
going
happy
forward.
that I feel if the money is not actually in or absolutely promised, that we shouldn't count expectation money. But I love the concept of the emotional. If it's there, it'll help us. Yes.
Just think about when I was a Cub Scout. You know, you got to sell the most candy bars in order to win that pup tent. You know, get out there and pound the pavement and make it happen. So.
Did you get it?
I did.
Okay. Any other board comments?
Okay.
I made mine. I'll remind you again. I think it's amazing that you've kept salaries down and delivered what you've delivered, but also you and Suzanne working tirelessly for free at the Old School Square campus is pretty amazing. And I thank you for that.
Well, we have a good team. The team itself, I think one thing that I also just thank the board, because many years ago, board members led the charge of looking at us and looking at the payroll and the team and how other organizations, both locally and in the county, just to look how to create a more sustainable organization by looking at our expenses and operationally how we can continue to enhance that based on the averages that are out there. So I
think you've done an
appreciate that
amazing
with
job.
salary surveys, which we just have received a salary survey from all the downtown organizations in the state of Florida, which I will share with you all, so you can at least see, all the different organizations and what their how their teams match ours.
I'd love to make a quick comment before
Sure.
we change. And I also want to I have a presentation in for a building to design a
okay.
building.
Okay.
At 3 o'clock, I have to be in Boca, so I'm going to have to leave, unfortunately. One of the things I do want to say is that I remember when I had Roxy Lulu and I had approached the DDA at the time, it was just Marjorie Frere, and Laura was just getting hired. And we wanted to embark on this sort of big event of what became Fashion Week. And all I can say is that luckily I was in a position to donate an enormous amount of my time, because when I get passionate about something, I'm willing to do that. But there is no way that the DDA at the time would have been able to execute all of the things that were going on, starting with that, had there not been a group of people willing to volunteer to work for free, of which I was one of them. So the fact that you're now, all these years later, what is it? It's like 9 years later, 10 years later. 10 years later, you're 6 people, instead of one person and 1.5 at the time. I think it's kind of remarkable, all of the things that are able to be accomplished with just 6 people, because it was impossible back then. And when I kind of look at the salaries as a total, I look and I think about, I hope I'm not saying anything that will, upset any junior people in any business or in any organization, but when you're graduating college today at 22 years old, and you're going out to get a job, starting salaries are around, I don't know, I think if any of us look this up, it's somewhere between $75,000 and $85,000.
Sounds pretty good. That's
Yeah,
like
I'd say
closer to
it's probably less
40.
than
It's
that,
probably
yeah.
closer to 40, 45.
No, not of the college graduate today.
I don't know about
State
that.
of Florida.
Teacher salary is only 46.
Okay, well,
I
but
think you'd be surprised.
well, okay, so that's something that maybe we can look up. All I can say is that when you look at all the salaries and you kind of divide them up between the number of people that you have, you're kind of right there at that kind of starting salary, unless I'm wrong.
I'm just
Unless
doing
I'm
what it
wrong.
is.
Laura's
Anyway.
We've got
Laura
it.
just got those studies. We'll get a chance to look at them, and
Yeah,
share
I
with
mean,
you.
if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Totally, no, but I mean, I would have thought that.
we'll take you out and shoot you.
There you
It's
go.
what we do.
Thanks, Jules.
I did have some things I wanted to say, but it's not about that. It was about
Okay.
sort of the parking and the empty space and stuff. Should I say anything before I leave, or
Are you leaving in 5 minutes?
I am?
Okay.
Can we do that? It's okay with
No.
me if the
Yeah,
board will
it's
allow
up
it.
to the board.
Absolutely. Let's get it
If you
out.
want
Okay.
Yes.
her board comment, that's what it would be classified as. If you want to take, you can take her board comment out of
I'd
order
like to take your
accommodate
board
that.
comment now.
Okay, just some thoughts. One of the things that I was thinking about is that we have these empty lots, right? So some of them are city-owned and operated, and some of them are privately owned and operated. What if there was a daytime valet, and the money that was for the city lots went back to the city, and the money that was in the private lots, maybe the DDA could rent those lots and then have like a $10 a day fee. I know there are a lot of older women coming in from West Delray and things like that, or when it's raining, people that don't want to walk and kind of need to be parked right there, somewhere very, very close. So that's an idea for shared money. Also, to perhaps raise the meter just on Atlantic Avenue $1 for prime time all along Atlantic Avenue, instead of it being $4 an hour, make it $5 an hour for Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. And that could kind of compensate, because I know that it was kind of frowned upon maybe to give some of the free parking, but maybe that kind of makes up a difference. And then for the DDA to, or the city, to organize the use of the shuttles in order to be able to take employees who could park further away in a free area and be able to shuttle them for a fee. And then that could pay and compensate for the people running the shuttle. So it's not asking them to pay $5 an hour at the meter, but it is asking them to pay something. So let's say instead of, you having to pay $5 an hour and you have to move your car and you're in the middle of a shift, you pay $5 for the ride, one way, or $5 for a round trip. And you have a permit to park in that area. I don't know if that's any good.
Okay.
The other was not about parking, but I know that there's so many of these empty spaces, and I think they're eyesores. I drive around the city.
Building
and walk-
spaces? Not parking spaces.
Not parking
Okay.
spaces. Empty spaces, retail empty spaces, and they go on for not even like months. They go on for years. And I'm just wondering, do we implement any kind of penalty fee for someone that just leaves it empty for 5 years? Because that could be a money generating thing too. Let's say there's a grace period where you're given 60 or 90 days to have a new renter in your space, unless it's because
I don't
they
think you
can't
can
get,
legally do that.
Yeah, I think that's against the law to make people run their businesses like that.
you can't put a district fee saying you can't leave it abandoned.
It's not abandoned. It could be
property
repositioned. They
rights
could
issue.
be doing zoning.
I think we probably have a better opportunity to figure out how do we pop up, activate, or maybe do some kind of
Utilize
frontage,
the
create the
space,
frontage, do the
That's a
windows.
better approach.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
so
window
they
decor
utilize the
thing.
space.
Yeah.
I don't know how to encourage it, but I do know that it doesn't help or benefit the downtown if we keep driving by or
Right.
people keep coming into town and there's a restaurant that's been empty for 6 years or a
Right.
building that's been empty forever. It just doesn't benefit the town. So if there's any way that we can create a way to encourage activity in there, even if it is pop-ups or
Right.
whatever it is. I thought a fee because, that will encourage people to rent it faster. But if there is another way to do it, and there's a bunch of other thoughts, but I have to go.
Yeah, the one thing I'll mention on
Thank you.
parking is I don't know if you can park a bunch of cars on lots that are not improved. So if it's like dirt or whatever, like the city will not allow you to use that for parking.
Right, but what if it's like, okay, so the one by Johnny Brown's,
Which one's that?
Railroad lot, the railroad lot.
That's
Right.
that's public parking.
right, but what I'm saying is that it could be a daytime valet where it's charged to park in there during the day, a flat fee, and then it ends at 5 o'clock.
But it's a private lot that someone manages the parking, so you'd have to work it out with them to change that.
Right, so
And
these are
make sure that
ideas, obviously, that
financially
need to be
makes
They
fleshed
could
through.
do something
So.
in order to be able to do that, and then any of the other ones that are obviously finished, not dirt.
sense. Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
Thank you.
Thank
Letting
you.
me speak.
Perhaps
Right.
it's time for a parking workshop?
Well, I
Because-
think the we had parking conversations a couple months ago. We did the town hall,
Right.
lots of discussion, lots of recommendations from the board. Thank you, Jules. From the town hall attendees and from our survey. So tomorrow evening is actually the city commission does have a presentation on their agenda around the parking management
The
plan
Missy- one
of
that
what
Missy
the next
presented.
steps are, I guess, are on that. So our goal is we did provide a letter based on the board's feedback and direction from a couple months ago or actually it was last meeting, we sent that letter based on your feedback to the city commission, as well as we'll be sending the list of recommendations that were received at our town hall. I'm going to email those over today.
Well,
But we can, I mean, parking is essential, and we should have parking on our agenda, as Brian said numerous times.
it just always comes up, and you know the city is working for many different choices on that. The only reason I brought it up is because she mentioned employee parking, and I thought,
Well, if we're
geez,
having a workshop, that's around future, and
I guess
I
maybe
think
we
that
could
should be
include
part
that.
of that workshop as well. So I think visioning for parking is always essential.
Yeah, I think it's, again, working with the city right now. The city's working on a parking plan. They've put some
Right.
things into motion. You know, we've sent a letter. Maybe we can send another letter again. I think a lot of the things were on the same page, just with what the
Right.
city is implementing.
Close.
There's small things like, you know, maybe having the garages not charge $1 per hour and be the place where people can park for free. And then, you know, again, focused on the lots turning. And we had a few ideas for certain areas to
Right.
have some employee parking built in, but I think we're pretty close. It's just a matter of, at this point, we can host a workshop, but the city's moving the ball forward. So I just think we have to be part of what they're doing too, and show up at their meetings, share our thoughts, and just be part of the conversation.
Yep. I think our stakeholders have really, they came out, they have ideas about that. So I think just bringing those, you know, making sure that we have some type of unified strategy, and even if it's just communication and marketing of that is important. So, all right. So sticking with the agenda, because I know everyone's packing up. 5C, we have minutes from June and July that need approval, and this is really one action item for these. So if there's any changes to any of these minutes, just bring that forward, and if not, then we would just approve them at one time.
Move
Does
to
anybody
approve.
Oh, did we get that? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I missed it. Great.
Jim and Cole.
Jim and Cole.
All,
Quick.
all approved? All
Aye.
approved?
Aye.
Aye.
What was that for? Minutes. Oh, the minutes. Aye.
It was kind of in a consent agenda.
What
though.
Right.
were we going to discuss the
We're not done yet.
all right current financials? Because I know we're discussing.
Yeah, that's next.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Yeah.
No, we're there. 5D.
D,
What? D. Yes.
that's it.
So we moved May to this agenda from last agenda, as well as June. So, starting with, if you want me to, I can go through both May and June together, if that's okay? So first I'll do May's revenue and income. So, this is both the DDA and Old School Square. So first, the revenues, as you have on your summary, which is our, the ad valorem tax revenue, which is $1,771,253. Those are based on our installments as of May. And the interest earned is there as well, plus our other revenues, which is partnership and miscellaneous, which are vendor fees that come in, and it's based on our events. So total is $1,840,583. So May's expenses are around our mostly marketing for the monthly marketing programs and PR, as well as Mother's Day Orchid giveaway is heavily part of that May expenses, and our planning for our summer, which is our Summer of Love Delray marketing programs as well. Ambassadors, our monthly litter abatement, which is the beach keepers, in addition to our art walk expenses that we do on a monthly program as well. So expenses totaled at $1,211,114. So that is the DDA revenue expenses.
Quick question on the expenses.
Yep. For May?
Yeah. Because is that we're in May right now? The
Well, I'm
first
just
page?
covering May.
Yeah. Because again, the only thing I look at the percentages a lot,
Okay.
and that's why I ask how much through the year we were. I just want to make sure we're in a good spot because under the economic vitality and development, we're 81% through our budget, and we're 60% through the year.
Right.
But that's fine. We're good for the rest of
Well,
the year. It's not
it's
gonna be
under the C7.
economic vitality. is
Right,
what-
so
This is a
when,
fiscal
since
year, right?
we,
So it goes till October.
Yes.
But this is May right now. we're
right,
looking at.
so on
Wouldn't
May,
that be,
Good point.
So it's May. We're looking at, it's August now, but we're looking at May numbers.
No, I know, but
80% through May.
Fiscally starting October, we're actually 8 months into the year. No.
Right, but
In
this is
May.
May financials is what he's speaking
Yeah,
speaking
Yeah,
about.
what I'm saying is in May, we're 81% through our
Yeah, yeah.
budget. So I'm just, again, we're in August now. I'm just kind of
Right, so Art and Jazz in January was canceled, so some of those expenses were paid already as far as that. So next would be, so we had Art and Jazz July and Art and Jazz, and then in September. So those are the only, and then our restaurant month, those are mostly marketing efforts versus
economic development.
event and logistics.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, I just look at the numbers that pop. So
I know.
We're in May, so I see the ask.
and then Old School Square as it relates to income, we had our 3 installments from the city. Donations received 25,000, 7,000 from sponsorship. Venue rentals 63. Program income is 157,000, and the store is at 12,589. Total 866,000 of revenue and 866,49,000. So expenses are both for operations of the exhibitions, marketing, museum expenses, and the amphitheater, the concerts, mostly are all the expenses and logistics, as well as additional city services invoices. Fortunately, we received invoices from the city services that we pay. So we pay for any events that we're producing. We have city services for police, fire, parks and rec, trash pickup. Those are provided by the city, and streets if there's a street closure. So those expenses, unfortunately, we received about 6 or 7 invoices from 23-24 that were paid out of this year's budget. So that's May, and then we'll go to June's financials. And then on the breakdown, you have in their financials, you have the breakdown of all the different events and totals, so you can see that in there as well. On June, we've got our ad valorem. Majority of our ad valorem, we had 1 installment in July. Majority of our ad valorem is in at the June, July timeframe. So we are at 1,826,498 for the ad valorem. The interest is at 2,100. Other revenues at 60,845, which brings a total of 1,889,487. Again, breakdown here, our programs really coming into. We did have a video shoot for the new website and some new programming videos that we produced, our commercial. So that was done in June. Our again, the expenses around the Love Del Rey Art Walk. We did on our placemaking expenses. We did the 4th of July banners and our Pineapple Grove banners. Those were new and they were installed. And we are at expenses 1,346,123. At Old School Square, again, these numbers are pretty much the same, except for our the venue rentals up, our program income is up in there as well, and donations and store is hovering about the same. So total is 1 million for our revenues, 1,093,437,000. And then our expenses, so we do have in here, we had marketing expenses around our summer concerts, our fitness, wellness Wednesdays and fitness events. We printed some other collateral as well. And our museum expenses with the activations that we've highlighted in June with some of the getting ready for the art exhibition as well. And the amphitheater, we had expenses from May's that really rolled over into June, which is we did the 2 concerts, and the expenses fall and the invoices paid for June as well. So expenses were $967,268.
Okay. Does anybody want to comment
Any?
on the June budget?
So you can approve them together, would be fine. Because it's one item, we have one item, it's the May and
If no one
June
has a comment,
financials.
then someone should make a motion.
Move to
I
approve.
think everybody's sleeping.
I'm just looking, are we cool with, we've used 90% of our legal fees, like we've used 31,000 or 35,000, and it's May or June, I'm looking
We'll
at.
probably have to amend that, we'll have to bring that back as an amended
I think
item.
he's going to work for free for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Well, pro bono.
Maybe
Yeah.
if we shorten our meetings.
And
So some of these
again,
things, projecting these items, we'll have to look at the forecast for the future as far as what those items are, but we'll bring back as an amendment and those things too.
when are we gonna do the amendment?
We'll have to bring it back to next meeting.
Alright, yeah, cause there's a couple things, again, you know me, I just look at.
I know,
the-
we'll see, our financials are gonna be, we'll have to, by November, so as we bring our monthly financials to you, so next will be July and September.
Mhm.
And
August,
then,
yeah.
right,
July and August,
no, we'll have, July financials will be in September.
right.
And then October will be August. So we'll look to, if we can work to get the financials to you and do it in a sooner fashion. That's our goal, is to do that right now. There's a lot of,
Yeah, I understand. I just, again, when I see the budget's like, we're burning through it and the year's not over, then I just wanna make sure that we,
some items,
recognize it or
yeah.
doing things to make sure we're caught up. But it's fine, I'm good on this part. Are we talking about the balance sheet at all at this time, or are we moving on?
If you have any
Is that part of
questions.
this budget discussion?
Yes, if you want. Otherwise,
Is that
we're gonna
what it- I
vote
didn't know
and
if we were
approve
gonna
it.
well, it's all part of the financials. So I just give the highlight, I just read through the memo that I provided to you all, but we can go through any detail you'd like to.
Gotcha. I mean, it's fine. I would just say there's a credit card miss receipts, just, let's do a little better on that one, cause it's like $16,000. I just wanna make sure that
I
we
know,
do a little
receipts.
better with that. It's on the balance sheet. So.
Well, we have the receipts, it's just not based on that number, so it's getting those receipts reconciled as we go forward,
Yeah,
so.
that's all. Yeah, again, I'm just looking at the title, so I didn't know if you were doing it or if that was just done. And then accounts payable, the 140 grand. Who's that? Who do we owe money to?
That would be, hold on, where are you looking, sir?
I'm looking at the balance sheet under liabilities and equity on page
For
1.
for which
I
month?
believe it's the Downtown Development Authority balance sheet as of May 31st, 2025.
May, okay, well, they had two in here, so I just wanna make sure I'm looking at the right one. So you are in, oh, I'm sorry, the wrong one. The current liabilities, I will have to get more detail on that, I don't have that one.
Just let me know, just curious, it's a big number, so I just want to see who we provided services or whatever that we owe money to. That's it, those are my questions.
You want to approve it or not approve it?
We have that.
You guys can move forward with whatever you want, I'll make my decision on the vote.
Well, as far as these go, you get better answers one-on-one, but if the information's important for the board to share with you, I don't
I'll
want you,
share it. I can
I
follow
want
up.
you to do it here.
Yeah.
She's
We
gonna
can-
follow up and
yeah.
give it to
I
everybody.
mean, we
Yeah,
can
so-
table that,
I just
because
wanna make
then
sure
we,
that
our
we're-
liabilities are, it's more,
Brian's questions are always really good, so you don't
Yeah.
want to miss it, but at the same time.
and I
we'll-
apologize, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
we're
I
gonna
don't
go
have
to
an
sleep
answer
soon,
right now.
and,
I just,
okay.
I'll make sure our treasurer has that information.
Yeah, we can table it. Absolutely, $140,000 is a very big number.
Well, it's 116 on the,
Make a motion to
June as
table.
well, so.
Revise my motion to table it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
alright.
Aye.
You guys could have voted on it, I'm just like asking the questions.
Too late. Too late.
Alright,
Okay, so the budget's tabled, and we're gonna.
Not the budget, the monthly financials, just so it's clear first.
Right, sorry about that.
Yeah, you're
May and
good. You're
June.
good.
Got it. Monthly
Right, so
fine.
we're on 5E.
So now we have the officer appointments.
Okay.
This is kind of why I moved it, because we're worried about time. Do we want to
I think we have enough time to do it.
Next week? Next month.
We can, we have time to do it now.
I thought we'd appoint Jewel while she's not here.
She does, I don't think she wants to have a.
She might not have a choice. She's not here.
She has a vote, so maybe.
That's like the best thing is appointing people that are not.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can put it to next month. She has a vote, so it'd be
Best
important for
chairs
her to be
become
here.
chairs.
Exactly.
What happened?
So, I think Anthony's still over. Are you okay? You good?
great.
Oh, good. Okay.
All right, somebody make a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table the officers till next
Okay.
month.
Second.
All in favor?
You might
Aye.
have- You might have to need it too.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right, unanimous. I have no comments, Mr. Chair.
All right, then is Laura next or?
Yes.
No. You
No, you are.
But show's here.
I just said I didn't have
Oh, you didn't
anything.
have anything. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were already there. Okay. So comments, so just a couple comments, and a reminder. So the CRA is having a public outreach meeting tonight at 5:30 at the library. So I wanted, there's items out there, but I want to make sure that you all are aware.
What is
the
that?
CRA social? Is that what it is?
No, it's a public outreach meeting to discuss the West Atlantic Master Plan, aka Set Transformation Plan, to help shape the future of the set.
Well, that would be an important one. What time's that at?
5:30
Where?
Tonight?
at the library. Yes,
All right.
Wow.
you'll have
And
time
guess
for
who's
lunch.
providing the food?
Oh,
Hey.
excellent. There's food.
This guy. There's food. Everyone, put it in your calendar now.
You
I-
want to go? You
no,
might
I-
have to attend.
I can't attend, but
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
sure the
not
food's
on
going to
DDA
be
night.
delicious.
Is it going to be virtually by any chance?
I don't
What
think
happened?
so.
What you charge us if you came to eat?
Yeah,
So-
$600 an hour.
I have to send my son with a good leg.
5:30.
Okay, all right. And then as far as the venue fees, and I've shared this with most of you, but I'm going to bring that back at a future meeting, just so we're going to revise it, research it a little bit better, bring back some recommendations to you, so that way you're not having to go through a lot of these waiver requests at our board meetings potentially. So, and that is it. A couple of our staff members are on vacation this week for the next 2 weeks. So we're all pulling different duties. Liliana's actually in Portugal visiting her family. Her mother and father live in Portugal, so she's there. But other than that, that's
So I'll open up any board comments, starting at one end, go to the other. Mr. Mayor?
Just started that.
No, you start this end.
I am perplexed as to why you need to have a second meeting to decide whether you want the mayor to sit on your board as an ex officio or not.
I can respond to that if you want.
No, I don't want you to.
Okay.
I'll ask you when I speak to you. Thank you. I understand the process. The process could have been they didn't move it forward with that. They decided to move it forward with that for discussion later. Why they decided to move it forward with it and not omit it at this point is my issue. Because that's essentially saying, we want you off the board.
No, it means we're gonna have a
Excuse me.
discussion.
Okay, fine. It doesn't need to be discussed. It's a real simple concept.
That's your opinion.
You're right.
Let him have his comment.
It's my
and then-
opinion, and it's and
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
no,
apologize.
that's quite all right, Mr. Chair. You are the chair. So I think that I take that as it's not that tough of a decision, and you have made it into a tough decision, which it really didn't need to be. And frankly, whatever you do, you do. Doesn't my interest is whatever. I'm finished.
Okay, Jim?
Just a couple of comments. One was with regards to the parking garages. I think we discussed this a couple of times, that at Meisner Park, that the garages there are free. Hopefully we can figure a way during the daytime for the employees to have the garages free here. I know that we also discussed that there was comments about the budget going up by 100% in 5 years. That means that the value of the properties also went up in that same 5 years significantly. And there's more to be done and more to be handled by the DDA and so forth. I think that's it. I do not believe that the motion to move this forward was that we have made a decision one way or the other. I think it just gives us a little more time and so forth to think it over with regards to the ex officio. And that's why my comment was to push it forward, to just be able to have a, further thought about it and so
The
forth.
chair would say that's your opinion.
And the chair would say that, yeah, thank you. You said that the Meisner Park is free in the...
Yeah, we've discussed this
Is
before.
it
The
24
garages.
24
yes,
hours
yes,
free?
it is.
So it's not just daytime,
No, but the parking, if you want, or if you hobble around like myself right now, you either go to valet, or if you get there early enough, which I'm an early bird eater for dinner too, so there's typically the parking you pay at the meter, so forth. I think we can generate a lot more money. I mean, I'd be delighted to pay more money to go to even to lunch on the avenue during the day. If it went to $5 or something like that, wouldn't bother me at all, because I'm expecting to pay anyway, and I'm really not paying attention to that right then and there. So I just think for the employees of the restaurants and so forth that do not have the ability or the wherewithal, I'm very blessed that things are good and so forth, and I can afford to pay the meters, etc. But I think for I don't know, Aaron, you'd know better than I do. What does someone start off making in the restaurant, whether you're a dishwasher or a server or whatever else? I don't think it's a lot, is it?
No.
Not at all.
So if you're taxing those people,
$13 an hour.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman, can I make one other comment?
You can.
With the board's
Okay.
indulgence. And I'm saying this because of a question that Mr. Halliburton said, and Anthony, I don't know your last name. Anthony Barber. You asked me if I had anything. I want to pass this out to the entire board here. I've taken a bunch of stuff out, but I want you to see the kind of stuff that I'm looking at that I'm trying to help. All right? This is the front page of your audit. This is your audit, which talks about they don't even look at your internal controls. They don't even look at your internal controls. And notwithstanding this, every other city budget, every other department, everybody has their internal controls to see if they are up to snuff. They don't even look at this. So I'm going to send it to you. And the reason I say it's important because I included 7-8 pages here where bills are submitted to the city, invoices are there with no receipts to the DDA. So I'm trying to be. You question whether or not I'm a team player because I send a letter to people to try to save taxes, and you love to say we're not raising our tax rate, but if people are paying 11% more this year than they're paying last year, that's raising taxes. It's a nuance to say we're keeping the rate the same. But, that's not my call.
Mr. Mayor, actually, you'll be surprised, but thank you for this, and we'll all take a look at it.
Oh, well, there's I'm giving you, I will maybe meet with Laura to discuss some of this stuff. But, we can say what value I could have provided to the place to keep everyone out of harm's way. But, listen.
We'll discuss it.
I'm not going to be here. You do what you like at this point, Al.
No,
I mean, the
you'll
point
be
was,
here.
you had a chance to kill it tonight. You didn't. You want to discuss it further. I'm not going through this conversation another time. Just not going to do it.
Well,
you made your call.
The board is going to do it next week.
Well,
next
that
month,
doesn't
so-
matter what they do.
Thank you. So anyway, our proposal, Jim, was to make the parking lots free all day.
The garages.
Not the garages,
Garages,
not
right.
just at night, not just in the day, but at night as well, like the Meisner Park.
Similar
That was the DDA recommendation. And the other changes, of course. Anthony, newest member. Do you have any comments that you'd like to add before
Welcome. Yes, welcome.
Thank you again. No, I'm good to go with comments. I'm good to go with comments. Yeah.
Well, I hope the food's great tonight. I'm going to try and get over there. I didn't know, and I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm actually excited at the idea.
They very light menu choices. Just some chicken wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brian.
All right.
Just chicken.
Then we have to go to the groove afterward.
There you go.
Yes.
Minimal comments. Talked about the parking already, and Mayor's heard it in his ear. Free garages, free garages, free garages. So I think he's got that, and everyone else watching gets that. We're interested in that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Put it
go
through
ahead.
channels.
Jump on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In regards to the parking garages, although they may be free in Meisner, the situation with leasing is different than what we have in the downtown. And so, for example, they're paying more. The tenants of they're paying for the parking garage. It's not like the city's paying for it. The actual tenant. So there's a business that I was partnered in, 3 businesses that were down there, and that was one of the points of contention of like, do we continue to do this down here because we have to pay for parking along with the lease? So when you consider making it free, I guess we consider that someone still has to pay. But in Boca, it was the tenants in the different restaurants that was paying for the parking if it were free to the visitors of Meisner. So that was it for me. So.
Well, I don't know much about the parking problems in Boca, but the parking problems here are such that trying to get 5,000 or 6,000 employees parked is what we were concerned about. So that was the reason, moving them around.
Yeah, and visitors too that may not want to spend money on parking. Again, we like having the garages.
True.
Just continuing on, that's my quick thing. Again, I beat the drum. Budgets. I saw there were some budgets for the shows in here. I appreciate that. I'd like to see the budgets for the yoga stuff and for the health stuff, because I think they're going to show well for us and that they actually produce income. Mm-hmm. So as much as I love seeing the shows that we run and seeing that, hey, we're running 16 grand negative, 25 grand negative on the shows, I also want to see the winners too, because then when we're all deciding as a board where we want to focus and how we want to spend these dollars for Old School Square, we kind of actually know which programs are really working, generating
You had the
votes.
yoga numbers last month, but I can give them back
No,
to
again,
you.
just all the budgets so that we understand what events we're focusing on and how they're doing, for the organization would be helpful.
For Old School Square, yeah.
Yeah, for Old School Square specifically.
Cole?
I think I'm all set for now. Thank you.
Aaron?
Just want to give a quick shout out to the police department, code enforcement once again. And as far as having the mayor or whoever the representative he wants to have in a seat come, short story, 20 years in the military. I was a chief, senior chief, and then we had our own mess that only the chiefs, the senior chief and master chiefs could go into. It was our property, nobody could go in there. But if the captain came down and walked in there, we weren't kicking him out. So you just got to think.
And we wouldn't kick the mayor out either.
So he should be able to come. That's all I'm saying. Be careful.
I think that's enough for me too. I thank you all,
Any comments? No?
and I will gavel us